Good evening, everyone. My name is Super Clark. Here with me, Pika. We are your casters for tonight's battle. Welcome back to the front lines of the Community Gladiators 2026. And if you thought yesterday's duel matches were insane, come on, man. You haven't seen anything yet. We are graduating from pairs to the full-scale chaos of squad mode.
Oh my goodness. And what way to cap off this first season of Community Gladiators than with the most anticipated, I'd say, format of our entire tournament, the BR squad. So, yes, as Super Clark said, I will definitely affirm yesterday was already mad good. But this time around, we got more. We got more than just pairs. We got an entire troop to worry about. I cannot wait. I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled for the rest of the action.
That is definitely true because I am seeing some prominent teams, and definitely the BR community right now is definitely watching out for the four kings. And if you remember Pika yesterday, he is mentioning Lead team right now. They are part and they are going to play the BR squad mode.
And that's just among others, folks. So in case you guys did miss the action leading all the way to the playoffs, this is exactly what happened throughout the entire month of February. We started off on the 12th, all the way to the 15th for the qualifiers. The 18th to the 21st marked the group stage. Last but not least, here we are. That's a little tear on my eye here as we are down to the final day of the playoffs.
All right. Really, this is the final day for the Community Gladiators 2026. But just to remind everyone, we started with 162 squads. Can you imagine that one? And then after 50 squads, and now we are down to 16 squads for the playoffs. And definitely you'll be seeing all of your idols, all of the pro teams, the pro players, and definitely the clan that you are wanting to watch for this squad mode.
Yeah, a lot of them are actually very familiar, Super Clark, but we'll get to that in just a bit. So, yesterday, if you thought that 1100 was hefty, ladies and gentlemen, we're back to the 1600 mark here for our squad. The champion or the first placer gets 1600, 900 for second place, and the third gets again a very consoling yet fruitful $500. My goodness.
Nice. Okay. All right. That's going to be a lot of money at stake once again. So we'll be seeing some chaos. But before the chaos, Big Kings, let me show you the matches. Once again, we will be starting on Isolated, followed by a Blackout map. We're back to Isolated, Blackout, Isolated, and Blackout. That's the rotation of the map that we will be playing for this 6 grueling matches.
So if you guys were actually here yesterday, this wouldn't be a surprise to you. More so that, again, it's Blackout. I like the fact that we do have those gaps. You know, a breather every now and then. But what I do want to see more, folks, would be teams who will step up their game and not allow any of our notable teams to actually take the top spot immediately. Because it only took 5 games before it actually changed, right? We had unbothered brothers, right? They got a 2-piece, but of course the tail of the tape is that 4 kings got three victories, Super Fun.
Right, and it goes to show that one win won't be enough to secure a title, right? It requires consistency, endurance, especially this is a 6 grueling rounds, right?
Yeah, and I'll be honest here as well. With those 6 rounds, those 6 maps, anything can happen. Most of these teams are going to be sweating bullets. I mean that figuratively and literally. Who knows? I think we lost Super Clark there for a little bit. Okay, here we go. We are not going to let you wait any longer, ladies and gentlemen. Let's head on straight to Isolated to start things off. We're just going to wait for Super Clark. I believe we lost him. I'm going to wait for Mission Control's advisory. But while that is, these teams on the upper right of your screens are the ones that you're going to be looking out for. And we're not looking at the same INC people who we started with yesterday with being 4K, right? Like 4 Kings. 4 Kings, it became a bit of a premonition that they were the first teams that we saw drop. And also, for the time being, we're not seeing the entirety of the minimap. It looks like everyone is swerving northeast, right? We're seeing a lot of the teams merging towards the northeast corner of our map of our stage. So yeah, going back. These are 4Ks. Oh, we got first blood here, care of SDPH. So wow. And if memory actually serves me, SDPH, we're gonna look back on that. I believe they did also try previously to join the Community Gladiators. Unbothered. Okay, this is what I find insanely interesting. The fact that we have multiple teams from Unbothered coming in, right? We have the Alpha, the Main, and the Nemesis. So that means 3 chances. 3 consistent chances of winning every single time. Okay. So yeah, I'm asking for mission control if Super Clark has returned. Otherwise, yeah. Got it. All right. So we got some advice from mission control. Super Clark will be deploying a little bit. We're just gonna wait for his flight to come back here again. You know, I did pick up the dog tag though. So here we go. We have Showa taking out Delta as well. So please do spare my voice. I am your COD M conscience for the time being. All right. And yes, you are seeing this right as well. We're not going with 20 teams this time around, as we did show you from the previous roadmap. We are down to like 15 teams, 16 entirely. For this deployment, I believe we only have 15. So we're gonna check out who is not there, or we'll try to sort out who did not go for this deployment. Meanwhile, leap, right here. And again, that rings a bell to you guys. Most probably so because of last Community Gladiators champions, right? We have. If I'm reading this right, Kleptizi, Aspect, Sato, and JM. So hopefully I did not butcher that IGN. I'm so sorry, folks. Pardon me. And as expected, we're gonna be seeing a lot of rewinds. You know, the meta has, you know, been occurring quite, I'd say, quite repetitively for the past how many times or how many sessions, how many maps that we've been here for Battle Royale. The rewinds, smoke bombers, some defenders every now and then. Of course, you can't go wrong with medics, right? Okay, so more action. Daryl here from GNR, already a dog tag. Let's see how that action can unfold a little later on, as soon as his dog tag does get picked up. Okay, so we have more SDPH. Basically, we have more SDPH points on the board here. 3 eliminations thus far. Let's see if that's going to be changing a little later on. Ow, okay, a big task right here for Skara. Having to pick up and redeploy the teammates. Actually, the whole squad, basically. This is going to be tough. So just trying to clear the terrain here before anything else. Just before the possibility of redeployment. Excuse me. All right. Again, SDPH looking quite shabby. Sticking with the command center. And we still have 14 solid teams here, folks. 14 teams. You know what this means? A lot of our players are going to take this quite slow. They're going to be very patient, or at least try to be. Oh, never mind though. Skara is out of there. You know what that means? Unless the dog tags have been summoned, then the entire squad of Skara has been wiped out already, of GNR main. Yep, by the looks of it, there it is, folks. And yes, the whole squad of GNR was given a very unfortunate fate of being eliminated just like that. Again, anything can happen here. If you guys are just tuning in, this is Arena Call of Duty Mobile's Community Gladiators. This is the BR squad. If you guys were here yesterday, then you would know that it was the duos who kicked things off. And that was the first time, by the way. Yesterday was the first time that we actually had BR duos here for Community Gladiators. Now, back to the old. We're going back to our squads. ADMT still zilch. On the elimination side, still nothing. Again, this is the pace that we're kind of used to when it comes to Battle Royale. You just gotta try, you know, to scout for as much resources as possible. Try to be as patient steer clear of any engagements up until it's really absolutely necessary, because it is going to give away your location. Oh, just a couple of players actually. There's a couple of players from Ivy who actually did have their upgrades. I think they ran out. I can say the same here for IE. There's only one player who managed to get an upgrade, and that is the medic. Hasbu, if I'm reading that right. From IE Exodus. And again, later, in case you're wondering, guys, the scores on the side will be updated as soon as we hit our second match. So for now, we're not going to be counting individual scores. We're going to be tallying that as a whole later after match number 1. We got Yasu taking 1 frag. Again, a little bit of someone here from Team Hello. Okay. I wish that there was a little bit of there was a way for me to say this entire team name without me sounding like a complete fool. Yeah, but so far, looking steady, and I like the classes right here that we have for the entirety of Hello. And only one member actually does not have an upgrade. Remember, the big value, as we talked about, of being an upgraded class is that the cooldown time is significantly faster, in case you guys are unaware. And if you haven't played Call of Duty Mobile Battle Royale yet, you should give it a try. Oh, wow. Okay, that was a free, literally free loot. You don't get that very often in a competitive scene, you know. Being able to go for a free unscouted crate for our drops, for airdrops, that's very rare. Absolutely rare. Okay, anyways. Oh, we're moving quite fast here, folks, when it comes to our circle. And yeah. Yeah, I was hoping for a different circle path. But for the time being, here we go. We're at farm, launch base, pipeline, military research. These are going to be some of the hottest points that we can be in for now. And again, I can only hope for the best for our teams, that we don't get any I'd say peculiar rotations, or at least peculiar changes in our circle. That is it's going to be absolutely chaotic, to say the least. Okay. A lot of action so far. Our elimination feed has been lighting up drastically. And a while ago, the piece of ADMT was very evident. But now, no siree, we're down to the last 2 players. Gotta regroup it. Gotta regroup immediately and find as quick cover as possible. Oh wow, Team Hello still also has their hands full. We got Cyan over there with a nice BY-15 frag. And Team Royale. Okay, and again, this is one more team that's been taking it quite slow in a good way. I want to see how this unfolds for them a little later on. Team Royale. Oh my goodness. Still with only 1 elimination so far. Everybody got their upgrades. Got the medics, the smoke bombs. Okay. And I want to ask you guys in chat, give me a little bit of an insight, or rather, give me a little bit of love for those of you on which teams are you actually rooting for. I mean, I know that we're gonna have a massive fan base around 4 Kings, right? But again, we're not the only teams in here. It's also rare that I get to see jet boosts picked up for this one. Well, granted, it's a squad. A lot of things can happen. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, for sure. We do have the usual suspects, right? So we have 4 Kings, Joker, and again, Ivy from yesterday was really notable. Unfortunate that they did not actually close out the entire day with a single victory, honestly. So here we go, back to the action here. A lot of commotion. Care of RGD taking out a couple players here from Hello. Man, okay, they're moving fast. Leap moving real fast here, folks, with already 4 eliminations on the board. Again, these classes are actually very intriguing. Royale also had just a single elimination added to the board. I like this. I like the fact that there are teams that are not in a hurry. That they are not too greedy. They're not very I'd say hasty to try and go for them eliminations. Okay, now with our circle slowly slowly deteriorating, slowly shrinking. And okay, yeah, I'm gonna hold that thought real fast. Here we go. Royale I did say that a while ago, and I'm gonna say it again. The peace has been disrupted. Royale not shying away from any fights. Already, a while ago I was looking, and there was only a couple eliminations here from Royale, but now we are up to 5. Jeez.
Airdrop has been delivered.
So far looking real good. And
Airdrop has been
Ivy,
delivered.
a while ago, one of the teams as well that we should look out for, still has only 1 elimination. Uh-oh. I mean, I am genuinely curious on who's going to emerge and land our top 8. Remember, the points are going to be much more precious when you're already within the top 8. Let's check this out. Okay. Team MLK. MLK Amigos. Oh, man. Okay, this is sad. This is a bit sad. Okay, good collection right there of the dog tags. Now, this is going to be... This is gonna be intense. You saw what happened earlier, guys. You saw what happened earlier. One such team immediately out of the picture just because of the failure to summon. Okay, okay. Activating the rewind just like that. And again, this is the merit that you get from picking. This is the merit that you receive from picking rewind. Oh man, basically, it's a short time lapse allowing you to correct your mistake.
Your teammate will return to the battle when the next revive flight arrives.
All right, unbothered. We got unbothered eliminations right there. I believe that was from Nemesis. Could be wrong. Eduardo. Okay, putting a cap on another member from RGD. All right, caps from Royale. Like this is insane to me. The fact that a while ago Royale had absolutely little to none when it came to frags, but now already one of the highest scoring teams thus far with 8 eliminations. Okay, moving back to the perspective of RGD. Here we go. They have their hands full. We got Nero over here. Remember, 5 eliminations. That's already quite good, considering that we supposedly have about 60 players on board. A little recollection here, regroup from RGD. And them weapons, man. Them weapons, folks. These are the determining factors as well as to how successful you can be, whether it's the early game or the later game. There we go. Ivy getting themselves a little bit of blood. 4K, you know, very unusual for 4K to actually have that little eliminations. But again, it is not always rainbows and butterflies when it comes to Battle Royale. Here we go. Just a tiny point of view here from RGD. Just trying to see if there is going to be... Okay, I'm not sure that they're aware that Leap is not very far away. We have Sato specifically right over the hill. Maybe they do have some information to go around. I'm not very sure. Here we go. Stellar, if I'm reading that right, from RGD, taking out Kirat and Aplo here from Royale. Ooh! Okay, that is not good for Royale. A while ago, I was saying that clearly that... Okay, yeah, that is for sure. That is for sure going to be a dangerous encounter here for Royale. Okay, trying to get to the... trying to get to that cover. But again, sometimes you just can't win those fights immediately. You're gonna have to be a bit more patient. Oh boy. And all the resources, all the skills actually have been loaded. Okay. Clyde, still with that patience. Still with that patience. Okay, choosing to challenge, is he? No, I don't think so. I do not think so. I'd say, okay, here we go. Nero finally spotting one more member of Royale. We got Clyde over there on the run. However, Nero is outside the play zone, so this is gonna be a bit stingy. And as with Super Clark would say, you know, the snow bees, the snowboards are actually your saving grace when it comes to these fast-paced encounters. All right. We're taking our sweet time here, folks, and this is the last couple circles, or maybe even the last circle so far that we're looking at. One more encounter, and we are still at 9 teams. My goodness, this is gonna be pandemonium for sure. I believe Mission Control gave me word that Super Clark might be deploying anytime soon. Let's see how that's gonna be. And if he is, I hope he makes it on time just to witness some of this action. You know, I know he won't have any more loot. I know that he's gonna be dropping down barehanded. You know. Uh-oh. Ivy taking out more names on the side. Clyde, however, already falls victim to the blue zone, or rather to our play zone. So 4K, man, 4K. They're already down two players, and now they only have 2 to go. Never mind, 1. We got Friday over here. Literally, I believe, is trying to regroup, figure out the best strategy to go about this. Is he actually gonna contest MLK by himself? Possibly so. Okay, solo Lobo it is, and went for the rewind immediately, activated as well. So, okay. The Super Clark, in case you're ready to deploy, please do radio me. It'll be much appreciated. Uh-oh. There we go. Oh, Kevs is still alive from Royale. I never actually got to see that. Pardon me. But Clyde, this is what I was talking about. Got incapacitated a little earlier on. And yeah, there we go. That is pretty sad. Now, Kevs, I believe this is going to be a massive risk for him if he actually goes for that save. Granted, how many teams are still out there? And with little to no information to work with. Pardon me. So here we go. Taking it quite slow here. All right. Leif from RGD. Taking out JM from Leap. Again, Kevs. I believe the only one hoisting the flag for Royal. Ivy Sacred. Here we go. Again, Ivy. Ivy right now. Finally picking up the pace when it comes to these eliminations. I could be wrong here, but before their very tragic unfolding of of their fate, honestly, I believe that Royal had about 8 to 9 eliminations. That's crazy considering how early it was. These last 8 teams are already within the point spectrum, so they just have to try to last longer. Oh, that's one more elimination, a confirmed elimination, I believe, of Team Royal or Royale. I'm gonna call him Royal. Originally, say Royale with an E. Unbothered. We got Unbothered Alpha here, taking out Easy. Easy, if I'm reading that right. Pardon me.
Need backup.
Oh man. Or Shell, if I'm reading that right. I'm so sorry. I'm really trying to piece out those IGNs. But here we go. More action unfolding here, folks. Down to the last 6 teams. I cannot believe this. We got MLKs, Shin, and NA, I believe. That's a lot of MLKs. I'm sorry, guys. You're going to have to correct me in chat. But we did have Showman out of there from Unbox Alpha. I don't know if that SMRS was actually good for one. RGD still strong, still holding their ground here. And you know, I can say the same for Friday. The last player. Uh-oh. Is that good? Is that good? Oh my goodness. Zmita's here from Unbothered Alpha. Taken out by a very gritty Friday. You gotta make your way out of this play zone. Uh-oh. Yeah, that is gonna sting. Okay, nice map awareness here from Friday. Oh, but ate a rocket. Care of the SMRS. My goodness, I saw that. I saw that from point blank. Insane. Okay, that had to hurt. I mean, not physically, but that definitely had to hurt. Okay, beautiful. Sato taking out another player from MLK. And again, wow, Sato also is the last man standing here for MLK. Speaking of, we have Ivy here with still 2 players. One bound maybe to be for a revive, but I'm not really entirely sure if this is going to be the wiser choice. Sato, last one here for Leap. RGD still has a couple players to work with. Uh-oh. Last three here, folks. This trio, or rather this trinity of players over here, they have to fight one last time, at least for our first match. Man, okay, 3 members remaining. There we go. Successful revive here. Now this numbers are definitely going to be very good on the side of Ivy. They do have the perk of manpower. Again, the circle is moving, forcing them to evacuate their immediate spot. Here we go. RGD is out of there. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all she wrote for our match number 1. Congratulations to the first victors of our BR squad. It is none other, I believe, than drum roll, please. I'm waiting for the graphic, guys, before I actually do announce it. Here we go. All right. I hope we didn't freeze, though. I hope we did not freeze. Because I remember that Sato was the last one standing. I believe it's Ivy. Ivy would be the victors, right? Because our again, it was Leaps Sato that was the last person standing that I saw get eliminated. So supposedly it is Ivy. Poison Ivy. Waiting. Okay. Mission Control is setting it up for me, supposedly. I am just waiting. But again, I'm already spoiling it for you. I believe it's Ivy who did get the victory. They had a 3-man lead comparative to RDG and to Leap, who only had 1, right? So again, folks, if you're hearing my soothing voice as your BR ASMR, right? For the time being, I do hope that you stick with us here at Garena Call of Duty Mobile's Community Gladiators. My name is Pika. Yes, bringing you the action, the shaded speaker, you know. All right. Okay, look. Yeah, there we go. Yes, thank you for the graphics, Mission Control. I appreciate that. Poison Ivy. And again, they are the first victors, as I mentioned earlier, for our first match of the day here for Community Gladiators Battle Royale. Congratulations. Now, biggest question is yesterday going to repeat itself? Are we going to see another victory for Poison Ivy? But you know what? I'm getting too ahead of myself here. I am either predicting or I am jinxing it. So, Poison Ivy, congratulations. Really, really appreciate that. So, for now, I believe that Mission Control is still sorting things out with Super Clark. He is still on the flight. All right. And, yeah. Again, before anything else. Oh, wow. Okay, there he is, Super Clark. All right. Okay, I thought for sure that the flight was delayed and you were not going to make it back. But there it is. Parachute and all. Welcome back.
Yes, I hope my audio is clear. My apologies for that one because there's a power interruption. I'm using my backup right now.
If you
Thank
don't
you
mind.
so much for all of your patience, and I hope I still have a better sounding mic. But nonetheless, thank you so much for patiently waiting, and congratulations to the Poison Ivy. Pika is clearly saying that it might be, is it going to be the same narrative for Poison Ivy? But the thing is, the better experience that we are seeing right now from Poison Ivy, this is the very first time that we saw Poison Ivy getting the win compared to the duo match, because they're not able to get a win, but they're really being confident in making or being consistent in racking a lot of kills, but they're not really sustaining it at the very end. But this time, the first round goes to Poison Ivy Team Atlas. Congratulations. What a job well done.
Yes, absolutely. And right now, I'm actually looking at the comments as well. This is what we're talking about. We need some love. We need a lot of love for our teams. They're not the only teams who I'm sure are gonna push the best foot forward, right? Unfortunately, though, this is what's crazy, Super Clark. 4 kings, right?
Okay.
Down to the last man. It was Friday who tried to be the solo lobo, the lone survivor for 4 kings.
Oh,
Unlike yesterday, right? Unlike yesterday, 4 kings, they were the very first to climb that hill and basically spike that flag down. But no, not this time around. Are they gonna like it? And not to mention, Unbothered, with all 3 of their sub teams here,
Okay.
they were also unable to get the victory. So, begs the question, right? None from Unbothered actually made it to the top 3.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. But let's see what's gonna happen, because a different strategy once again, a different play styles that they're gonna use moving on to the next round, which is the Blackout map. So I'm thinking, right, the 4 King is definitely warming up, because once again, this is a squad. They just really need to have a better synergy, a good chemistry in executing their play styles. But let's see what's gonna happen, if there's gonna be another Poison Ivy round, or live via satellite, if I can say that, or rigid TSG.
Right? Yeah, RGD, right? They were at the very I'd say the very last encounter. RGD had 2 players remaining, and Leap had one. It was Sato.
Oh, okay.
So that really goes to show that you really can't expect anything or anyone to make it to the end, regardless of how good they are. Everyone's sweaty. So let's see how that's gonna be. And I'm here in just speaking of my mind. I want every single unbothered sub team to get a victory, but that's just
Oh.
me. That's just me. It's wishful thinking, but at the same time, it's free. So
Sure. Let's see what's gonna happen because, well, Unbothered Esports, they have a lot of titles from their belt. But looking at it right now, speaking of the battles, indeed, we have the match rankings. All right, the first one goes to the Poison Ivy, as we all know, and followed by Rigid TSG and Leap main team. So Unbothered Esports, like Brother Pika is saying, he wanted to see some W from this squad. So this is gonna be interesting. We just finished the first round. We're gonna move on to the next round and see what's gonna happen if Unbothered Esports won't be bothered from not able to hit the 2-digit kills on the first round and hitting 20 plus. Maybe we don't know yet, but let's see what's gonna happen because they're really strong right now. They got a good standing.
again, it's very early. This could still be shaken up quite drastically, maybe a little later on. Let's see. Keep an open mind, as I always say. For now, though, the target is on the back of Poison Ivy. Saw the action earlier, and I'm a fan of Royale as well. I kept saying Royale earlier, but I was like Royale. So with Royale, they were so steady in the beginning. Like when I was watching the entire premise, it's like one frag and then big silence right there in between, and then another frag and then silence again. Then all of a sudden, they went from 5 frags all the way to 8 frags and then 10. This is exactly what I was talking about. It was just so surprising to me. Poison Ivy as well, they did not actually step on the gas up until it was way later into the match, Super Clark.
Oh, which is really true because I've known Royal Esports for a very long time right now. They are the OGs, one of the OGs for BR community, and Royal Esports, their playstyles is really being aggressive. So it's really interesting hearing you, Pika, saying that at first they were trying to be passive, and on the mid to the 4th to 5th round, that's the time they went all out and get more kills, and that's why we're seeing 10 kills in total from Royal Leventis, which is really good because they're learning because they're one of the OGs. So definitely they got all of the experiences. If being aggressive is not really working for Royal Esports, why not change the strategy, tweak a little bit, right?
And again, it's so early on in the evening. Anything can still happen. All of these adaptations can come in at the snap of a finger. But for now, we're headed to Blackout. I am one of the biggest fans of Blackout. I am sure you are too, Super Clark. We talked about this. Blackout is honestly as vintage as it gets, right? But for now, I'm gonna talk about yesterday. Blackout was also a 4 Kings map yesterday, if you recall correctly. So
Yep.
it was their back to back. So if and only if Poison Ivy can replicate that, then they already have a huge advantage. They had the most eliminations, and had the victory itself. So it's top of the food chain right now. Everybody's gonna be chasing them. Doing that twice will just almost solidify them entirely to about 25%.
I agree because of the placement points plus the number of kill points. So definitely Poison Ivy will have a higher chance being crowned as champion. But let's see what's gonna happen. It's gonna be early to tell. We're just waiting right now to all of the soldiers to be ready so that we can start the battle of the match 2, which is on the Blackout map. And again, in terms of strategy, since we have 4 Kings right here, we have Leap main team. As we all know, playing in a Blackout map, these 2 teams keep on fighting in the construction site. They win some, they lose some. Sometimes it's 4 Kings, sometimes it's Leap main team. So that's their turf. So let's see what's gonna happen if they're gonna, do the same thing, right?
All right. So and again, speaking of doing the same thing, are we gonna be seeing this for the first time and maybe later again? Are these teams gonna be dropping the same way towards our next blackout? Remember, guys, we have 3 of 3. We got 3 isolateds and 3 blackouts. This is the first time, by the way, in 2 days that we have teams dropping on Nuketown Island, Super Clark. So now we are bound northeast here for this flight path, and we're gonna end our drop at Hydro Dam. So we're gonna see who is hasty enough and who's brave enough to challenge whoever's gonna be landing in Nuketown Island. You know what? Never mind. I think that is
First blood.
you know, I'm gonna say this, all pun intended, isolated. What I did there? Anyway.
Okay, all right. They are. Good observation out there. Okay, and we're definitely starting with the blackout map once again. This is the match 2 of Community Gladiators 2026 BR Squad mode. As you can see right here, the team of Team H. Okay, they got a first blood right off the bat, which is really good. Open the area, Spores bike, trying to have a better sense of their position right now, making sure that no one can do some flank or no one is at their 6. But looking at on a different angle, a different point of view, we are seeing some teams from the Hydro Dam. So let's see what's gonna happen. This is gonna be interesting. We don't see any chaos yet, brother.
Which also strikes me odd because MLK are all dog tags already. At least 3 of them. But okay, we'll check that out in just a bit. Meanwhile, Delta. Okay, so I didn't see a lot of Delta earlier. So this also makes me a bit curious. I'm seeing a lot of new weapons as well here comparative to yesterday. I'm so happy. I am so happy. We got a bit of diversity here, folks. So yesterday was kind of one of the same, right? So every single match you're gonna recognize the same suspects. But again, it is a different terrain. So, man, I am so excited. Look at the different look at the different arms that we've been seeing so far. I love it.
Yep. And speaking of Delta, brother, I love their story because
Ooh,
after
do tell.
after doing the land tournament, Delta created a new team, and they're really, I could say, one of the best teams that we have right now in BR community because of their skills. They are pro players as well. They got the caliber. So let's see if that is something that we can see right now from the Delta team. How good they are in annihilating their opponents. If we will be seeing their names being put on the match 2 blackout map, not only the Poison Ivy or any other team. So I'm so interested to see how are they going to perform. As you can see right now, they're just testing the waters. They're not really being aggressive. They're calculating their movements.
Yeah, man. Oh, this is very intriguing to me because Blackout is, again, as you mentioned yesterday, this is the type of map that kind of instills a lot of encounters. Like eventually they are bound to come across each other, and so many different vantage points to select from. It's almost like isolated, but with a bit more involvement of water in between the map, right? So here we go. Royale already has their hands dirty at the expense of MLK. And again, that's what I was talking about earlier. I believe that MLK already had three players supposedly as dog tags, supposed knocks, right? Super Clark, or eliminations already. And look at that. They are the first team to go.
Right. And as we see earlier, the lead players showing a lot of trigger discipline now there. They're hearing the vehicles of Poison Ivy, but they're not engaging. Can you imagine that one? That's how calculated they are. But meanwhile, we are seeing ADMT right here, sensing that there's an opponent in front of them and also showing patience.
Been delivered.
Here we go. I don't see any, engagement or attack. Most of the time, they will be attacking from afar. So maybe they're just being clever right now that the strategies would be survive longer so that we can have a better placement points and definitely hoping that they can get more kills. Finally, they are revealing their position right now because they are now confident that they can get a knockdown on SMRS. Let's see how this is gonna go. Here we go. Oh, okay, all right. Misses that first try on the missile coming up from Hajime, and Hajime is one of the OG players in BR community.
Now we're gonna hold on to that wisdom here. Let's see. And he does have enough SMRS shells, right, to go around. I believe he has like 14 shells. That can do a lot of damage. We're gonna wait for that engagement. For now, looks like it is a bit of a ceasefire here.
Airdrop has been delivered.
Hajime gotta keep his head down. And again, unbothered, right? Unbothered. So 3 of them. Only unbothered Nemesis is left with nada, with nothing to boast for. We have some points, 11 points specifically for unbothered Alpha, and main has 4. So this puts a little bit of pressure, I believe, on unbothered Nemesis. Subconscious, that is. I believe this is also what I was saying earlier. I believe that these 3 teams right here just increase the chance of winning of unbothered entirely, because no matter who it is that makes it out or makes it in to our potential top 3, if it is within unbothered, everyone wins.
Right. So here we go. That's going to be the engagement. Still holding on that hill right here. Not really too aggressive, as you can see, rotating right away, because the one thing that they wanted to avoid is a third party. Looking at the top of the hill, we are seeing 8 players out there. So let's see if Royal Esports at the edge of the safe zone doesn't have any choice but force themselves to be inside and attack. As you can see right here, here we go. A lot of explosion plus a grenade being thrown, already rotation being made on the team A. That's the 4 Kings. This time Pride is about to get a knockdown just like that, but he's the one being knocked down onto the ground. That's really insane.
Uh-oh. Rigid also has their hands full here at the expense of Delta. We were talking about those teams earlier, but now this is true chaos. All right. This is also what Super Clark was saying. There's a third-party involvement here. We got some teams dipping on the water. Also, we have IE. Oh my goodness, Unbothered Alpha also in the mix. And Hello. I did not say Hello. I'm talking about the team Hello, but you get the point. Sato also getting 1 knock of his own. Man, everything is happening all at once here.
Wow, that's a lot of engagement. Oh, in the air shot. Oh my God. Hello, if I'm reading it right, he was the one being knocked down onto the ground. Here we're going to push Akasa at your back. Oh, 1 top shot right away. Great kill coming through from Akasa. They're not yet down because there's a lot of opponents. It's a good thing there's a cloud of smoke being thrown already. And Team Hello is about to say hi to the team of 4 Kings. Is this going to be it? Or maybe we'll be saying goodbye from the hands of 4 Kings? Let's see and find out.
4 Kings. Okay, this is the wake-up call right here. This is it. It has gotten through. Meanwhile, we have Cyan here just again dipping on the action. All right. More strays just flying everywhere. Look at this. Look at this. This is not, I repeat, this is not a battle. This is a fiesta.
True enough. Fiesta indeed. And 4 Kings right now still got complete squad, but looking at the number of kills, they only got 3, so they just really need to make sure that they got a better position. As you can see, they're all being smart enough to rotate right away, so they're thinking differently, not too aggressive, because they know for a fact they're really too far from the circle and they really wanted to avoid any further damages, staying longer outside of the zone. And meanwhile, we are seeing GNR, there you go, Guns and Roses. That's really a good counter, doing some rewind, because he knows for a fact that I'm just here to find some intel, and I know that there's an opponent. I'm just gonna go back to my teammates.
So cheap, man. So cheap. Rewind is so cheap. I'm gonna just say that straight up. But again, that is how it is, Let it unfold. Please bring out your PPSH. I will. Please use it. Please use the PPSH. I am banking on it. It's just a personal favorite here, guys. Nothing to it. But if that doesn't happen, then I'm gonna have to take that. Here we go. Back to the action. SDPH. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to catch on to what's going on here of our elimination feed, but guys, 12 teams strong, still remaining. GNR. We have Kira, Daryl, and Scar. A while ago, they were very unlucky with Scara being the last survivor and eliminated in the process, unable to get the team back. So this could be vengeance, And look at that. There are still a couple of dog tags that need reviving.
Oh my God, that's a lot
Dude,
of players right here.
Look at this.
A lot of different
like Halo
colors that we are seeing. Oh yeah, you were right. Pika. Here we go. Close quarter battle. We might be seeing in a gasoline station and just like that. Oh, cleaning out the mess that we are seeing from the Rigid live bias satellite. Rigid Esports really doing well with 11 kills in total. They're freaking aggressive. One more kill.
Wow.
Coming out from Secret. Secret not showing any secret anymore because of that great performance with a total of 13 kills already for the Rigid TSG.
Unreal. RJD did not like the ending of that first match, Super Clark. Now they're turning it up. And look at that. Leaving the crime scene. Leaving the crime scene immediately. GNR also, okay, never mind. Yep. That's a bit of vengeance. I'm not gonna lie. That's a bit of vengeance here by Akira. So, you know what? I don't know if that was actually worth all those eliminations, right? Because we're so early on ish. We still have 11 teams strong. And losing one of their members, I don't know if that was actually a good risk-reward ratio. But again, look at the circle. Right now, it looks like we're going to have the possibility, Super Clark, of a water battle here. Or maybe a water clash. Let's see. Look at the circle. Big chance. Oh, okay, we're waiting. Just give us a few milliseconds here, folks. Let's see how that circle is actually going to... How that is going to... Oh, we are going to see some water battles, Super Clark here. Okay.
Yeah, we're right. All right, let's see what's gonna happen. And thank you so much, Mr. Control, for showing us the map. Crazy start, crazy Blackout map right now so far. And Mother Esports having a great challenge because they don't have any kill yet, but 2 dog tags that I'm seeing right here. And meanwhile, 4 Kings action once again. Hello, saying goodbye right off the bat because of the 4 Kings are all out there. 7 kills in total right now for 4 Kings.
Okay, looking shabby, looking good. This was not the same 4 Kings that we saw earlier. This is a much more calculated, I feel, and compact. Even if you look around, they don't really stray away far from each other. There's not a lot of separation between these players. Okay, so again, GNR also did really well earlier on. Unfortunately, against Skara, I remember that Skara had that task of trying to revive everybody, but got caught in the crossfire. Here we go, Leap. Sato. I gotta give Sato props as well, Super Clark. Sato was the last one standing a while ago during that final encounter, and it stood the test of time. I would say so because that's like 3 teams, and Leap was the only team with 1 member remaining.
Yep. So it only means that he is freaking insane and being persistent just to survive and be proud, waving the banner of the Leap main team. And true enough, true testament that we are seeing right now from all of the players of Leap main team. This time, we are seeing them trying to rotate using the ORV vehicle. That's going to be the gameplay outside of the zone on the side of Poison Ivy. The only player, oh my god, Ivo is the only player.
I guess Ivo. Okay, well, for now, let's see. Let's see how this is going to unfold for Ivo, right? Gotta love the skin, too. Now, this is also quite beneficial for Ivo, granted that this is a medic class, right? So, healing is not going to be a problem. It's the manpower. It is backup. So, let's see. I'm going to hold my breath a little bit here, see how Ivo's going to last. We still have 9 teams remaining. Remember, we're not yet on the top 8, so the points are not going to be very abundant until you go beyond that.
I agree. He might be, the goal, or he's on a mission to have a better placement because right now they only got 1 kill and he's the only player alive right now. It's safe to say, or clever to assume that Ivo is just making sure that he can be part of the top 3 teams at the very end of the Blackout map. So who knows? Let's see what's gonna happen right now here. All right, Delta still having a complete squad. Oh no, Gab is the only player. Oh my god.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Okay. Well, Delta, good luck. That is the best thing we can say for the time being. This is very similar to what happened to GNR a while ago. Last man standing had to try to go for that revive, but unfortunately, it was just too much firepower to deal with. Here we go. We got Showman from Unbothered Alpha. Last one, or at least from our perspective, is this the last one from Unbothered? We'll check. Oh, yeah, I think. Maybe so. Yeah, but again, We got Showa. Oh, no, never mind. Showa's also here, Super Clark. So there is a bit of cavalry, but look at how painful. Look at how painful that is already, staying outside the play zone. Oh, inches away. No. Oh, wow. Okay, beautiful slide. Enough for
Yep.
him to get a bit of healing. Oh, my. I had to breathe so hard for that one.
Right, and he managed to survive though. Let's see how long can he be able to survive right now. So it's very
Ooh.
important the mastery of the map right here, knowing where to go and knowing when to get up. Because right now, on top of him, we are seeing three different colors: Unbothered, Delta, and Immortals Esports. So let's see how this is gonna go. Because right now, Unbothered Esports, if they wanted to be able to secure a spot, a better placing.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Hello.
What just
Wow.
happened?
Okay.
Oh my god. All right.
Whew. Okay. I didn't know Battle Royale had jump scares. All right. So we're gonna stick with that one.
Airdrop has been delivered.
All right. Thank you very much, Mission Control. Okay. That nearly stopped my heart. But okay. Wonderful job. Okay. So going back to Leap. Now this is also very commendable, right? With
Airdrop has
7
been
teams
delivered.
remaining and 8 eliminations, Leap's doing
The
really
safe
good.
zone is collapsing.
Yep. I couldn't agree more. Right now, they still have a complete squad as we are seeing that the zone is definitely shrinking. So we are about to witness another chaos as you are seeing that all of the players right now doesn't have a choice but to force themselves to attack each other because limited space that they're playing in. Starting the long range already coming
Here we
out
go.
from the Rigid Esports to see how this gonna go. Still having a good number of kill points. They're rocking 16 kills already. Oh my god.
You see, this is what I was mentioning earlier. Yella is a casualty of war, right? Look at that. So that's 3 active members, at least acting, or at least moving for the side of Rigid. But now, okay, Eduardo just has his sights set, testing his steady hands. Oh, but ran out of bullets though. That was so sad.
That was really too unfortunate. And Four Kings right now, let's see if we are going to say once again, bow down to the king. So let's see how are they gonna do that right here in the Blackout now. Trying to somehow secure this angle. That's the best thing that they can do. Not really being careless this time. In fact, they managed to do some long range and cracking out at vest. And speaking of cracking out at vest, Rigid, once again, we are seeing trying to target the players of Leap main team. Can they get a knockdown? Can they eliminate Leap main team? And also being clever, trying to do some gatekeep from the remaining soldiers of Poison Ivy and Unbothered Esports outside of the zone.
Oh, okay. I like the approach. I like the mentality here. Apart from that, a lot of our teams and players here already have upgraded and complete class skills, right? So it's just a matter of time before all of that comes into play. We're gonna see blinds. We're gonna see those smoke bombers. We're gonna see those rewinds come into the fray. But for now, Rigid, and again with 18 eliminations. My goodness, just 2 away from a 20 bomb. We're gonna check out how this unfolds. And again, all they gotta do is hold on a little bit longer. Make sure. Oh, okay. Make sure that they do have the again the composure, the firepower to withstand the onslaught of all these teams. Here we go. 5 teams remaining, ladies and gentlemen. 13 players on the field.
Taking advantage of an easy kill. Here we go. Rigid Esports fighting against Leap in 4 Kings. This is going to be interesting. Eduardo, oh my god. Aspect is onto the ground. Instinct, better instinct that he has right now. Eliminating all of the players of Rigid Esports. Oh my god. Bow down to the Kings. Once again, let's see what's going to happen. Few more players left. They're about to do some cleanup. 4 Kings having a complete squad with 13 kills already. Can you imagine? That's how good the 4 Kings is, even if they only have 3 soldiers left. But right now, there's only 1 target. But yeah, I can simply tell right now that 4 Kings clearly get the win on the Blackout map. Congratulations.
And just like that, succumbing to the pressure, Ivo from Poison Ivy had to wave the white flag. Congratulations once again to 4 Kings. And that also denies the possibility of a back-to-back Super Clark.
Right. I couldn't agree more because on the first match we saw that the Poison Ivy got the win. This time, Four Kings sending a message. We are still here. You gotta bow down to the Kings. We are the Kings of the Hill, and they got the Hill already on the match too. Congratulations once again. What a phenomenal performances from the Four Kings.
Oh well. For now, we still haven't broken any curses, right? It's not even the first half yet. So, let's see. Let's see if the third or the second isolated that we have is a repeat, or is it going to be another completely different team, Super Clark, which I'm insanely interested in. I want to see how that is. I want to see if we're going to have, for the first time, at least here in Community Gladiators Season 1, the first half without any repeaters.
Well, that's gonna be interesting. That's really a good narrative, right? If we will be seeing a different teams every matches, because you gotta enjoy this Community Gladiators 2026, but with the prize pool that we have as well, something that you need to consider playing this mode, having some fun, playing this BR squad mode, right? And showcase while showcasing your skills and really enjoying playing with your squad. That's the key, right? And that's the major reason why we have Community Gladiators, because Call of Duty Mobile Garena server giving back to the community, and that's why we have this first season of Community Gladiators 2026. Congratulations once again for the Four Kings Joker. All right, getting the win on match 2.
Wow. And again, do we expect anything less? This is Four Kings, right? The reputation precedes them. Here we go. 21 total points because of those eliminations. Poison Ivy. Was this not from the previous match? I think it was. But yeah, again, we're gonna check this out. Yeah, we're gonna check this out real fast, and so we're gonna wait for that updated scoreboard, guys. Please do bear with us. Now, talking about how rigid a while ago, they did not like the way that the first match ended. They landed third, I think, second or third. Now they had a bunch of eliminations on their belt, Super Clark, like a ton, and that is a boost of morale. I always say this: morale is such a nice encouragement, a nice bit of encouragement for any player and any team to aid them in their way to victory.
Right. The thing is, if you remember, Poison Ivy on the first day, they keep on getting, or they're being consistent, right? Keep on having 2-digit kills, but still not able to make it to the top. It might be the same story for Rigid Esports, right? Because they ended with 2-digit kills, like the one that we are showing you right now. This is the max rankings from the Blackout map. As you guys are seeing, they're really on top. Rigid TSG with the phenomenal performances in terms of number of kills, a total of 26, and only followed by the Four Kings and Lead Main team. But the thing is, in terms of placement points, all right, Four Kings Joker definitely having a huge lead. So the question there, what's going to happen to our overall rankings? Is that going to be Four Kings being on top, Poison Ivy being second, or maybe there's a huge changes right now from our leaderboards?
Yeah, I can already tell that this is a big difference, gargantuan difference when it comes to the rankings. 22 frags at the start of our day is no joke, right? That is, in my opinion, that's actually not funny. You can already tell how many teams they had to go through to rack up these much numbers, right? So Rigid, we're keeping our eyes on you. I definitely am, for sure. So here we go. We're gonna go for our second repeat map for the day, isolated. So Super Clark, hopefully the players for all of the teams, right, for both maps, they have already taken note of what they needed to correct or what they need to try and do this time around. I am utterly confused, but at the same time curious.
All right. Well, yeah, let's see what's gonna happen. But before we give you a lot of actions, we're gonna have a quick break. We'll be right back.
We are literally marking the first half of our Battle Royale squad. Welcome back to Garena Call of Duty Mobile's Community Gladiators 2026. Yours truly, still on the mic, Pika and Super Clark. We have been off to a great start thus far, in case you missed it.
Right, I couldn't agree more, and I am back too after a long power interruption earlier, and I'm back on my own mic. Thank you so much for all of your patience, and thank you for all of the BR community that I'm seeing right now on the Blackout. You guys are freaking amazing. Welcome to the Community Gladiators 2026. Love and glory. And with that said, thank you so much for sharing your love. I really appreciate it. Here we go. We're going to show you right now the match rankings once again, and then after that, overall rankings.
Oh, again, this is what's been going on, folks. If you did miss it earlier, Rigid with a staggering 22 frags, even with only 4 placement points, Super Clark, that is enough to get them to the top of the mountain. At least right now. At least right now. Let's see how that's going to be on our third match / our second isolated for the evening.
Clearly being rigid, clearly being aggressive. Let me show you right now the overall rankings. Let's see. Here we go. Oh my God.
I told you.
Rigid TSG being on top right now because of the 22 plus kills on the Blackout map, and followed by the Leave main team there. Also phenomenal and being dominant on the 2 previous rounds. That's the reason we are seeing them on second place, and followed by Poison Ivy. But again, Poison Ivy started strong because they were the first one being on top on overall ranking earlier, but this time they went down.
Yeah, very tricky situation they're in. But I would say the same for Joker. You know, for 4K Joker, 1 point behind of Poison Ivy. And let's not forget, if they get nailed to this position, this spot right here, it is going to be very dangerous because we're only giving away a prize for the first, second, and third placer, Super Clark. So they really got to pick up the pace if they want to make sure that they get a piece of that moolah, honestly.
Yeah, because they got a good performances on the previous match. So they just really need to be consistent. Just so you know, once again, we're going to go back to isolated map. Looking at it, as you can see, the round 1 goes to Poison Ivy and followed by the Kings, the 4 Kings. Let's see what's going to happen. We will be seeing the same banner, the same clan. Moving on to the isolated map as we go and start the round right now for the isolated map. So let's see what's going to happen. This is going to be interesting. What's going to be the next strategies that they're going to do, knowing the rankings of the leaderboards.
Mm-hmm. This is the time. This is actually one of the best times for our players to try and lock in, for lack of a better term, Super Clark. Because again, this is the second isolated. After this, they're only getting 1 more chance at isolated, and that's until way later. So if they want to correct those mistakes from earlier, yes, I could not say anything else. But now you really got to do it right now, pronto.
You really need to do it. So this is going to be an interesting match because we are back on the OG map. It's going to be chaos. Let's see what's going to happen. Is this going to be to be passive? Because I witnessed these teams already. Whenever we play an isolated, that's a total chaos. But this time, because of the new generation, a lot of updates going on in the BR scene right now, it changes the isolated map that we keep on seeing that they're playing passively. Blackout is totally different and they're really being aggressive. Moving on to this match tonight, Community Gladiators 2026 isolated map. Let's see if the story will be different this time, coming back to the isolated.
Dude, hopefully so, honestly. I feel that this time around, right, there's gonna be more I'd say bold contests, right, braver contests, probably even in my opinion sometimes dumb. Honestly, it might happen, you know. There's nothing to lose at this point, or at least in my opinion there's nothing to lose at this early on. You gotta try. I feel that some of our teams have been holding back. I don't know if you agree with me, but I do feel that we have some teams who have been pulling their punches. Let's wait for that. Hopefully I'm wrong.
Let's see. Okay, we are definitely starting right now. Good looking on the map side. I could say somehow even in terms of choosing their own drop offs. Looking at it, still looking good on the team A. Four Kings this time. They got a first blood, by the way. That's how
Mhm.
quick they are. Can you imagine? And let's see, definitely GNR this time is looking at the leaderboard. They only got 4 points. So the question there, how are they going to adjust this time? Being warmed up. This is the third match already.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, this is yeah. We have nothing else. Clean slate. Nothing else on the board here, folks. Looking real good. Six. Look at that. It's a perfect number on the screen. Right, 15 teams, 60 players. And again, this is the calm before the storm, as we always say. This is gonna pick up real fast, real violently. Should there be first contact? And I'm guessing it's gonna be GNR versus SDPH. They're right next to each other now. Super Clark. There is no more cinematic start than this right here.
I couldn't agree more. And they're definitely trying to not to mess anyone for now. SDPA is definitely trying to check all of the corners, trying to look for a better angle. Same thing with GNR, looking at the positioning of the GNR right now. They got the high ground, lower, and definitely onto the platform. So let's see how effective the position is fighting against SDPAs. SDPAs, by the way, guys, is one of the OG clans again. They know how to play. They are really skilled players. So let's see how this is going to go. Who will be the first team to engage, GNR or SDPH?
It is this silence right here that brings so much anxiety, and I mean that in the best way, obviously, because you know for a fact that once the ball starts rolling, boy will it roll, right? And we haven't seen any PPSH action just yet. I am, again, I'm a big fan, Super Clark, and if all of you in chat don't know that, I'm a big fan of the vintage weapons. So, and look at the SVD as well, dude. It's been a while. I have not seen an
Yeah.
SVD in the out in the open.
Yep. Right. So they're trying to be creative this time. And maybe that's the only available weapons that they can have on the ground loot. Could be, right? But
Yeah.
it is what it is. They just really need to somehow make it work. But this time we are seeing Hello once again. If you remember Hello, they fought the Four Kings on the previous round, but they lost the battle. So it's like after saying hi to the Four Kings, they said goodbye right away.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy. And again, nothing. No action, man. No activity. We're not getting any traces of encounters.
Airdrop
Not even an attempt. Everybody's just holstered up. I like it.
Airdrop
Now,
incoming.
if I'm gonna ask your input on this, Super Clark, are you the type who will look for the hunt, or are you gonna just play it by ear?
Oh
Are
my
you gonna
God.
be the, right? Are you gonna be the one, to,
Airdrop
or are you just gonna stand your ground, go according to plan, and just tee off of whoever comes your way? Which one are you?
Airdrop
Good question, brother. Just to share,
has been delivered.
funny thing though, me and Neptune, we are both aggressive. We keep on pushing in. That's how confident we are in pushing, and we are thinking that hey, I can get this opponent down easy. But the thing is, we're the one always being a dog tag.
Uh oh. So yeah, I'm gonna hold on to that. Oh, here we go. We got some action here, folks. 4 eliminations already, just like that. MLK is out of there. I told you, Super Clark. I did forecast it, and again, I hate it when I'm right sometimes, folks. Boy, will the action pick up just like that. Leap immediately eliminating MLK. We blinked and we missed it. Honestly.
Right, that's how quick it is. I kid you not. Whenever they have chance eliminating, wiping any squad, you will be able to see that right away. Especially if we are showing you Leap main team. This time they're changing their map. This is, a unique map to start with from the Leap main team. But you got to be careful. BBZ. A lot of players underneath you, as you can see right there. And okay, fine. So what as well is also slowly
Fire sale will start in 1
pushing through right now with the vehicle. So that's the reason they're not making a lot of noises. Oh my God, long range shot. You do not reveal your position early. Oh my God. Let's see what's going to happen though. This is a complete squad sale from the team Hello.
Interesting. Oh, Ivy though already has some action to take care of as well at the expense of ADMT. Okay, that is another encounter that we didn't actually get to witness the entirety of. But you know what that means? ADMT is out of there, Super Clark. I cannot stress that enough. The silence, the quiet, right? The solemnity before the calamity. It was it was just deafening. And now here it is. Two teams gone. And we're only on our first or second circle now.
Right. And we are seeing Poison Ivy already upgraded their classes and staying at the edge of the safe zone. So that's going to be the plan right now, trying to make sure that they have all of the juices needed before they attack once again. Speaking of attack, rewind right away. They got the intel that they can definitely relay to their teammates already rotating. That's going to be Rigid Esports right now, currently on top of our leaderboard. We are seeing Unbothered. Can they be bothered by the Rigid Esports? Oh my God, on top, knockdown right away, coming out from Yella. Here we go. Can he get 2 Ps? Close quarter battle, pushing through. That's going to be the attack coming out from Lay. That was insane. Can you imagine a quick annihilation once again from the Rigid Esports?
RGD back on track here. Remember, they are not letting up. They are not, in my opinion, they are not in the position right now to relax, right? They only placed 4 points on the board when it comes to rankings, but the eliminations though, that was I'd say a double-edged sword for them. Granted that they were able to put some on the board for them, they are now the target of almost every other team out here. Aside from the fact that they did not win the basically the match earlier, they still have a lot of people looking at their direction. We gotta eliminate RGD and quick, otherwise they might do the same thing as earlier. They are now the top dogs.
I couldn't agree more. Let's see what's going to happen. Here we go. Lead main team once again. In front of them, the Royal Esports. Let's see if they're going to play aggressively fighting against Leap. But the goal from Club TC right here is to get some intel. Let's see if he will be successful using that Snowy. And yeah, it is. But also revealing the position right away. So let's see, because he is definitely confident he got the Snowy and definitely trying to have a great cons right now to the remaining teams. They're really pushing through already, about to destroy the 2 players of the Royal Esports right now with the 3v2 situation with a great answer. Oh my God, knocked down. 7 kills in total for the lead main team.
Oh boy, and no eliminations yet on the side of Royal. Not looking good here. Got some dog tags already underway and no upgrades. Super Clark, you know what that means? They've been denied that privilege a little earlier on. So let's see how this is gonna go. 12 more teams, a dozen teams rather, still in the field here. Uh-oh. Now I'm curious. Now I'm genuinely curious.
Okay, all right. Let's see. This is going to be a unique situation, so that's the reason we are seeing Aplo being on foot right now. He managed to scan the dog tags of his teammates already, so he just really need to wait for 25 seconds to do some regroup. But you got to be careful, though. We still see, if I'm not mistaken, that's a Rigid Esports. Checking, again, the remaining soldier of Royal Esports. Oh, my God, that's the one that I'm talking about. It was really a quick annihilation once again. It's a good thing Kev's already flying down and coming back into the battlefield.
Yeah. And still no frags. Still no frags here. No eliminations from Royal. I'm going to check up on them a little later on. Care of mission control. But again, more action here on the side of RGD. Rigid is still on this, though. Crazy.
That's how they are. That's how crazy. Oh, my God. Finally, Fubu get 1 piece. A good trade happening right now because Fubu got knocked down by Yella. And that's really a great diversion gameplay that we are seeing from the Rigid Esports. But so far, so good. They're rocking up 8 kills in total. Trying to do some reset, reload, and taking the advantage of all of the supply boxes available right now on the road.
Okay, so we'll get back to them in just a bit. 4K, all right. Now, our previous winners and the Kings, basically, still keeping steady, keeping their head down, making sure that they allow everybody else. No, this is also one of the reasons why I asked, because some teams, they're highly reactive when it comes to encounters, right? When it comes to interactions. 4K right now, they kind of change things up. They're not in pursuit of any frags, right? They don't need to do anything drastic, just allowing the game to unfold. Speaking of unfolding, am I seeing a War Machine Okay, yeah, we are. Yep, we are, folks.
Oh my God. Hello, Yasu. Sending a message that, hey, I'm gonna go back to the lobby. But yeah, SDPA is getting that win outside of the safe zone right now. Let's go back to the 4K. Shout out to Daddy Synth, who are doing some watch party right now on the Blackout.
Right.
Thank you so much for your support, Daddy Synth. I really appreciate you. Here we go, 4 Kings fam. Mugging eye, loud and proud for the 4 Kings. You need to bow down to the Kings. Here we go, about to fight the 2 soldiers of Poison Ivy. Let's see how are they going to eliminate them all. Let's see if they will have a better execution. As we all know, they are crazy good. They got a pro caliber skill. So let's see what's going to happen, what's going to be their strategies. A lot of players right now using the Snowbee and trying to find a better positions, having a good sense of the location of their opponent. So let's see. Dre is not moving any muzzle at all because he knows for a fact that's really a complete squad from the 4 Kings. And Yan from SCPA's not able to survive. And Stellar knocking down one of the players of the lead main team. And Dre able to survive from the hands of 4 Kings by not moving.
9 teams remaining. We're almost there. We are almost at the important point spectrum. We're almost at that gauge where these placement points are going to be vital. 28 more players here, folks. Still a lot. Still a lot to work with. Royal still stuck with 0 Super Clark. This is unusual, to say the least.
Regent Esports once again outside of the zone. Let's see what's going on. Royal Esports still trying to survive with no kills, scanning the dog tags of their teammates already with 2 dog tags. So let's see. Oh my God, Kiran getting some use damage from afar, and that's coming through from Lay right here. And this, here we go. This is gonna be the push. This is gonna be the ambush. I don't know how can you survive from the squad. That's a 4v1 situation with a great combination of SMRs and activating the med class.
Yes, I was going to say that. I believe that right there, that med is going to be very handy in such exchange. And again, still nada. Clyde needs to make some space here, avoid the encounters, go for those revives. That'll be very important for the team's longevity. Okay, and again, wisely so. Look at this. He's just peeling away from the action.
Right. The only player definitely on a mission, finding some better opportunity to grab the dog tags, being alone right now. So definitely, he just want to make sure that there's no any other opponents from his location and survive longer. That's the key. Maybe he can definitely aim for the placing points, maybe, or somehow find some time to scan the dog tags. Let's see how would be or the chances that they can have still. Medclass being activated once again from the Rigid Esports because they're really too far from the circle.
Speaking of circle, here we go. We are literally at the cusp of nuclear plant. Let's see what kind of encounters we're going to be seeing here, Super Clark. While we still have 9 teams remaining, everyone's making haste, trying to get in the play zone. And SDPH very distant. And again, I believe that this is already a lost cause for that team. They are on the southern part of our map, Super Clark. So I guess this is adios.
Yeah, let's see what's gonna happen outside of the zone. Oh, Sato! Great annihilation, but there's a counter trade happening. We go. Great execution from these 2 teams. Lead main team, can they survive? They're racking up 12 kills in total right now. It's a good thing that they are closer from the circle, but you gotta be careful. We are seeing the squad of Immortal Esports. They can definitely do some gatekeep. Let's see how this is gonna go, and that was right, but Zaire going down before being caught off guard by Sato. And here we go, still alive, but another team coming through already outside of the zone action from the Rigid Esports.
Oh, Eduardo though. Okay, looks like we're seeing the man of the hour supposedly. All right, let's keep at it. Rigid 17 frags. This is what I was talking about, Super Clark. Okay, now this ratio. This one right here. This one I can kind of get behind, right? 17 frags at the expense of 1 player. 1. Essentially, they already have the placement point that they need. It is just a matter now of adding more to the table. And this is so early on, Super Clark. They have 8 teams to eliminate here. Okay, Akaza right here, seeing 1 from Rigid. If this elimination basically cost their chances of victory again, oh no, 4 Kings might have a chance of reclaiming and repeating this victory.
Who knows? Yep, they will have a huge chance. And meanwhile, we're seeing Rigid Esports trying to be aggressive, fighting against Royal Esports. Once again, knocked down. Oh my God, Clyde saying goodbye, and Plo as well, and joining his teammate into the lobby. And you got to be careful right now doing some reset, because in front of the Rigid Esports, that's no other than the Four Kings. Slowly crawling, about to close out the gap right now on the position of Rigid Esports. And right here, which is really a better positioning that we are seeing right now from the Rigid at the edge of the circle on their left corner, that's going to be Team Delta, one of the prominent teams once again in our BR community. And on the positioning, Four Kings has the advantage. They can definitely be clever enough right now to use that high ground.
Mm-hmm. All right. Delta, okay. This is dangerous for Delta, I would say, because we're already at 7 teams, and only with 1 elimination. Right. This is a bit scary, because if they don't pick up the pace here, they're gonna get buried in the dust amongst the other teams. 22 players. That's not a lot of opportunities anymore for a single team. Just same with Unbothered here. 1 elimination. Okay, possibly 2 now, taking out Hartman in the process. So, now this is it. This is crunch time. I would say so. Super Clark, crunch time for everybody.
Right, this is going to be a chaos. We only have few spaces to play into our battlefield. Definitely the circle shrinking. We are seeing a lot of teams right now, so it's a matter of positioning this time and mechanical skills who will be able to survive at the edge of the safe zone. That's going to be Unbothered, Poison Ivy, Delta. Ooh. Knocking down. Let's see, 3 soldiers left being alive, and definitely leveraging the tower. Some revival kill that we are seeing right now from the side of the Four Kings. They're still holding on to the high ground. Seeing the players of Rigid Esports, huge damage. Akasa is onto the ground from Stellar. Let's see if they can still manage to survive and fight back for the players of the Rigid Esports. Still doing some reset. Classic unit being thrown, trap being activated at the same time. Onto the hill we go. We are seeing a lot of actions. Long range, cracking out at vest. Different teams, different colors on top of this hill.
Yella bleeding heavily out there. Okay, so we got basically 2 more active players here to put on more eliminations. Again, if Rigid would be able to go beyond their mark earlier, Super Clark, they're gonna have problems. Okay, a little bit of a third party involvement here from Van Bissal here of Delta. Dude, SDPH, I did mention that earlier, Super Clark. This team is as good as gone.
Oh my God, that's too unfortunate. But yeah, let's see how this is gonna go, because we only have 6 teams, brother. Here we go. Poison Ivy knocked down right away. Great exchanges from these 2 teams. Rigid at the edge of the safe zone. Instinct got a good instinct out there. And Reika, one of the best players of Immortals Esports, being knocked down as well, crawling to the ground. Yella once again getting that kill point. 9 kills in total right now on the side of Immortals Esports. How are they going to finish this battle? Open road battle. Oh my God, another knockdown. Unbothered Esports being wiped out by the Rigid Esports. Immortals Esports.
They're gonna do it.
Oh my God,
They're
here we go.
do it.
High ground advantage. Can
They're
they
gonna
make
do
it? Can they be crowned as champion? Oh, Rigid Esports once again.
Oh no. I jinxed it in the best way possible, Super Clark. Unbelievable. Rigid Esports, folks, with an unsurmountable number of eliminations plus placement points, Super Clark. Yo, again, I'm so happy that right now, 3 matches in, we do not have a repeating victor. I'm so happy.
Okay, all right. That's really insane. It was crazy intense, brother. Seeing the high ground. I thought Immortals Esports will be able to get a win because of the position.
Super close.
Yeah, it was really super close. But the thing is, I don't know what just happened, but the Rigid is just, definitely showcasing how good they are. That's really an individual prowess. True enough, power attack, getting the victory at the end. So I'm so excited to see what's going to be, how our overall rankings looks like. But before that, definitely let's just see their performances on this round. So in no time, we'll be showing you. And once again, congratulations to the Rigid Esports getting the win for this isolated map round.
I'm gonna say this right now. I am doing mental math. They're close to 70 points already. The way that I'm
Wow.
seeing this, possibly very close to 7, if not already there. But Rigid TSG, guys, watch out, watch out. This right here, Rigid is so far the apex predator of our BR squad. All right, so this right here, Super Clark. Again, I am getting chills just thinking about how much points they racked up already.
Right. So let's see how this is gonna go because Rigid is clearly touching the top ranking.
Yep.
But yeah, for the match rankings for this round, Rigid TSG still on top, followed by Immortals Esports, which is it was really close, brother, to get the W from the Rigid Esports. But yeah, followed by the Libane team. Let's see, because they're also having a great performances. And brother, Unbothered, they almost have it as well. It's just, a matter of a great positioning. And since they stayed longer at the edge of the safe zone, there's a lot of different teams attacking them. So that's why they're not able to survive and get the W at the very end.
Oh, there we go. I stand corrected. They're not around the 70 point mark. They are at 80
Wow.
already. So again, mental math not mathing for me, but it was again stellar performance from Rigid. The amount of eliminations, man. This is not ranked, guys. This is not ranked. This is a tournament setting. It means Rigid, they had the upper hand in almost every single gunfight they had.
Right. Definitely true. And looking at the overall rankings, if I'm the lead main team, I just only need why am I saying only? Lead main team, they need to do 41 points to be on top, right? Why am I saying only? That's a lot of total points that they really need to work on in order for them to grab the top ranking from our overall leaderboards. And that was really a crazy performances already for the 3 matches that we had. And I'm so glad, brother Pika, just because we are seeing 3 different teams, 3 different clans. It only means that all of the teams right now are really focusing on winning the battle. We started with the Poison Ivy, followed by the Four Kings, and right now Rigid Esports. The question there, what clan that we are about to see going back to the Blackout map for the match 4?
This will mark 2 for 2, guys. 2 isolateds and 2 blackouts. So this right here is the rectification round for Blackout. In case that they want to correct something, they want to do something differently this time around, it is the time. Now again, as you did mention, and as I did say prior to that, I enjoy seeing different emblems right now. I am happy that we're not seeing a repeater just yet. This really just means that our teams have their own ways of emerging on top. They have their own flavor to bring to the table. I am excited to see who this next one is. And I am telling you right now, if I'm going to forecast or maybe just even be direly hopeful, I want this to finally be an unbothered team.
Oh, okay. All right. Good call out. Unbothered team. Let's see. Now, the question there, if Unbothered Esports will be, joining the Four Kings in construction site. If because Four Kings will be dropping off to the construction site. And again, just to give some history, we keep on seeing Leaping team fighting against Four Kings in construction site. Sometimes Four Kings winning the battle, sometimes Leaping team winning the battle in the construction site. It's kind of like they have their chances. They have their own bragging rights. They have their own time in, fighting against each other from the construction site. Now, on the point that you were making, peak of Unbothered Esports, let's see if Unbothered Esports decide to drop off into the construction site. Who knows, right? That's going to be their chances to really test the waters if they can get a win fighting against Four Kings.
Speaking of Four Kings and Unbothered Esports, they are currently tied in the overalls.
Wow,
So,
okay.
This right here is super important because if they manage to take a significant lead away from Four Kings, they're going to be buried, unfortunately. And I'm not raining the parade of any Four Kings fan right there. It's just
Right.
facts. If Unbothered trumps Four Kings, and again, I am not saying it's going to happen, but should that be the case, it'll be a hard climb for Four Kings because after this, there's going to be only 2 maps left. 2.
Right, and this is going to be interesting. The question there, what is happening right now to the Poison Ivy? Is this going to be, another technically kind of back to back for the Poison Ivy. They really need to, go back to the drawing board because 2 matches already, they're not showing a top placement or being part of the top 3 teams on the side of Poison Ivy. What is going on right now? And speaking of the rankings, the Royal Esports, although they got a good performances somehow, they managed to rack up a lot of points already. But if you're going to ask me what happened to the 3rd round, they only got one placement points, and they don't have any kill points or elimination point for the Royal Esports. So that's the reason we don't see them earlier for isolated map. Now we're gonna start the match 4, going back to the Blackout map. This once again Community Gladiators 2026. My name is Super Clark, here with me Pika as your shoutcasters. Let's see and find out what's gonna happen for this battle.
Keeping my eyes on Nuketown Island. A while ago, we did have some people landing there. I believe it was okay. I could be wrong. Oh, same spot. Okay, we got the same spot. We're gonna see who that is. Sorry, it's not okay. This is not Team Okay. But I will check out who this is. Who went to Nuketown Island? Can we get a visual of that? Mission control. Because again, they're the only ones who went to Nuketown Island, and they were untouched as they did. And again, Super Clark, this is a very familiar flight path. Why is this happening every time on Blackout? This is the exact same thing that happened earlier, man. It ended at Hydro Dam. So
right.
Northeast seems to be the favorite flight path so far for Blackout.
Nuketown Island, though, that's for Unbothered Main.
Yeah.
All right, and we are seeing some changes. All right, Hydro Dam on 4 Kings this time. So they're changing their map already. So that's really a good strategy, not being, easily read by their opponents. Great job for the 4 Kings. So right now, definitely it's going to be a passive. All of the teams definitely getting a lot of resources from the chosen map and getting their own juices and be ready. And we will be seeing a lot of vehicles again in Sniper, FSJ, or SMRS, because we know for a fact that there's a lot of spaces in a Blackout map, and it will take time for them to rotate, moving on from the point A to point B.
Don't look now, Super Clark. We are not complete with our teams. I repeat, we are not complete with our teams. One of them did not deploy here, unfortunately. So, and that also means that we're not getting the full blunt of the players. This is 53 players on board right now. So that's maybe, just maybe, one less threat to worry about. Meanwhile, I was gonna say meanwhile there's a bit of silence going on, but you know what? Forget that I said that. We got a fairly good trade here from Unbothered.
I couldn't agree more.
We're
GNR,
yeah.
Yep, we're seeing 2 players from Unbothered Esports being knocked down onto the ground. It only means that the GNR, the Guns N' Roses team, they got a better defense, and they managed to leverage that building right now. Oh, PKM? Is that a PKM? Oh my
It absolutely is.
Woo!
It absolutely is. I told you, PKM is the GOAT, and it always wins. But again, here we go. GNR. We got 1 casualty so far, at least at the expense of Scara. Dog tag already acquired. So, man, okay. I like how we're starting. This is a different flavor.
Dog tag quick scan successful.
Yep, it is. And Unbothered Esports right there. Oh, they don't know where to look. What just happened? Sora taking that advantage, going out from that building, moving into the second one. But this time, good trade happening right now. And Daryl is the only player about to do the same gameplay of Unbothered Esports. 1v1 situation from the brick house. Let's see how quick he is. Let's see if he can manage to finish the fight, fighting against Unbothered Esports. This is going to be GNR Daryl, but you got to be careful. There's a third party coming through already. That's ADMT. You got to be careful. You got to find a way to survive. You got to get out from that building. If not, ADMT is ready to annihilate you. And here we go. And just like that, Daryl is also able to knock down one of the players of ADMT. We're only seeing right now 3 soldiers and GNR being eliminated by ADMT. And Sabu saying something. Trigger discipline. and being quiet. Shockwave being activated right now, but that's really too bad decision because he's definitely revealing this position. So unbothered, ADMT right now got the intel that someone is out here still inside of this building, so trying to communicate effectively right now to the team, and because of that one,
Oh, come
Samu
on.
is on to the ground.
Come on. Bro, okay, I was gonna check out what happened there, but I had a glimpse of GNR. Scara once again, the last one standing for GNR. Unbelievable. It is deja vu, and not the good kind, unfortunately. We're gonna check up on GNR just a little bit. Here we go. Tail of the tape. Yep, you see what I'm talking about? Scara. Oh my goodness, Super Clark. You see the clock ticking for GNR. Go on without us. That is what it is.
It is what it is. The only player alive on a mission to find a perfect opportunity to grab the dog tags of his teammates. Meanwhile, Delta getting a complete squad, but they don't have any kill yet. So the goal is to rotate, scout, and be ready to attack. Meanwhile, from the killer feed, we are seeing Royal Esports fighting against Hello Team, and 2 soldiers are onto the ground right off the bat from that attack of the Royal Esports.
Okay, here we go. Delta again. They were off to a good start earlier, so kind of, I would say, from the previous match. So maybe Delta has something in the bag that we haven't really witnessed yet. Bit of an encounter here from Glue. I don't know who Glue is. Who Glue is aiming for here. But okay, we'll check up on that a little later on. And so far, no eliminations yet, Super Clark. None from the teams. We're still clean.
Yeah,
or rather, right? We've had a bit of the other team. Sorry to cut you off, but we've had bits and pieces of other teams completely eliminated, though.
Yep, that is definitely correct. And we are seeing some actions already from the 4 Kings fighting against Poison Ivy. Starting off, they managed to knock down one player of Poison Ivy. This time, adding more kill for SDPAs. Can you imagine 2 soldiers right now onto the hill? Let's see how good they are managing that position. But they're adjusting already, trying to take good care of this hill. 3 soldiers remaining right now from SDPAs. They're trying to create some space on the team 4 Kings because they know already that the chances of winning fighting against 4 Kings is going to be lower. So right now they're finding some better position fighting 4 Kings, or maybe not to engage 4 Kings. Who knows? Because they lost one teammate already. So they're checking how are they going to adjust. Meanwhile, we're seeing Immortals Esports getting closer as well on the side of 4 Kings. Are they going to attack? That's going to be something that we need to find out from the killer feed. We're still seeing ADMT and Rigid Esports having some actions.
Okay, I am now I want to see how RGD is gonna do this. They're playing slow. If you notice that, kind of slow. But then again, here we go. If there's an opposition, if there is someone standing in the way, they will not shy out. They will not shy out from that encounter. And here it is. 2 frags on the board for Rigid. And again, you know what? I said this yesterday, Super. Now I'm a fan. I am becoming a much bigger fan. So pardon my ignorance, but having heard of Rigid Esports this late, I'm convinced, 100%.
Wow. Okay, there we go. A new fan of the Rigid Esports. That's your Pika out there. But going back to the battlefield, the Immortals Esports is the one that I'm talking about earlier. They're really close to fighting against 4 Kings. But you got to be careful, though. Oh, there's a flank coming out from Rinka. And Singh is onto the ground. That's really a good help. And Glue, good trade happening. Akasa cleaning out the mess, confirming that kill. He's definitely being committed. Fried is also out here trying to destroy the chopper. Great job. 3 players left from Immortals Esports on to the top of the hill. Let's see what's going to be the adjustment. Eduardo doing some reset. Cloud of smoke being thrown away from this hill. And also taking good care of that position and trying to be ready because they know that someone is still out there, no other than SDPH. So let's see if Eduardo will be making a kill using that SMRS, but Immortals Esports still attacking this time. SDPH, who will grab that win? Is that going to be SDPH? Oh, good trade happening. Rinka and SDPH Ares are onto the ground. 4 Kings, they will have a chance right now to do some third party because Immortals Esports eliminating SDPH. Come on, man.
Oh boy. Yep, we are back to how it was earlier, folks. No holds barred here. All the teams just jumping right into the action. 4K now with 5 eliminations. and Instinct about to get into the mix as well. Okay, I like this. And Royal. Oh, there goes RGD. There goes RGD. Your boys of Royal here, Super Clark, doing real good with 9 eliminations. We've seen this happen before. The trailer played way before this match. So Royal. Okay.
Yep.
Another threat in the field, Super Clark. Another one. Another contender for that 4th victory today.
Absolutely. Who knows? We might be seeing Royal Esports.
Yeah.
But for King Instinct right here, showing that he got some instinct, that he knows the position of his opponents and decided not to engage purely because he just really need to take good care of the damages that he's definitely getting right now inside outside of the zone. Eduardo with the rally car. Oh my god, huge damage because of the SMRS from the Immortals Esports. But in terms of positioning, they're really being clever. They're being inside of the zone right now. So the planning for the 4 Kings, they're about to do some gatekeep for the players of Immortals Esports. Let's see how this is going to go. How are they going to rotate? How are they going to adjust the position? How are they going to plan things out, be better, and get a win fighting against Immortals Esports? So far, huge rotation. That was really a long rotation for the 4 Kings onto the hill.
Yeah, I would say they're gonna go for that revive, 100%. While the coast is clear, so we're gonna catch on to them later on. But 11 frags already here for Royal. Jeez, looking real sharp here. So, and again, SDPH, we did talk about that earlier. Very unfortunate. And Royal still in this with 12 frags already, Super Clark. We've only had 3 eliminated teams. But Royal already going past the 2-digit mark with ease, by the way.
Yep, true. And meanwhile, we're seeing in Butter Esports, they only got first blood from their bag. So let's see if they're going to engage ADMT. Trying to be ready. Good positioning. They got the sniper roll. Oh, Hajime, you gotta be careful, Hajime. Here we go. Loses and missing some shots. Zimadus right now needs to adjust with the rewind because someone is out there doing some flying and being aware from the surroundings. Oh, Ray or Rai being caught off guard right there. 3 targets right now from Zimadus helping out the team. Cardell losing the battle. Hajime huge damage. Let's see if Hajime will be able to manage to survive right now from that huge damage from Zibadoo's of Unbothered Esports. Here we go. Helping out the team, closing out the gap. That's a 2v1 situation. Let's see. Unbothered Esports Nat still being alive right now. Net class being activated from the Unbothered Esports. Oh! Eliminated by the Poison Ivy.
Right while I was actually staring. I'm like, wow, what happened? Okay. Hajime out of action here via the play zone. Ivy still looking good. Three eliminations, but a complete squad. You see, this far on, numbers matter, Super Clark. Much more than the eliminations, I would say. But again, you can't help it if you're not able to rack up those eliminations and no one comes your way. The entire squad of Hello, I believe, is out of the equation though. 9 more teams to go.
9 more teams to go and 25 soldiers on boost. Looking at the map right here is getting smaller already. We are at the 4th zone and we are seeing some good rotation so far from the Royal Esports. This time we are seeing a good number of kills. Great job. 12 kills in total right now. Okay, fine. So what? I don't know what is going on. One player just joined. Is that it? One player from the OK Fine. That's why they don't have any kill yet, and the only player, Tom G's, is out here trying to be safe, trying to survive longer just to get some placement points. Who knows if that's really the plan, because it's going to be hard for him because there's no support if he's going to engage.
Yeah, exactly what I was talking about, Super Clark. Despite the fact that we did have, I'd say 14 teams, one team did not actually participate. That's what I was talking about, where some of the teams actually do not have the entire squad on board. So that's one answer. And OK Fine also does not have any points whatsoever just yet, alongside Unbothered Nemesis for 4 games now, for 4 matches. So something has to give. There has to be someone that he should take back to the lobby with him. You know what I mean?
Yes. Let's see if that's something that really needs to find out on the side of Okay, fine. So what, team? We are seeing Unbothered Esports right now being bothered by Immortals Esports. Let's see if they will have a perfect angle. Cloud of smoke being thrown already. Immortals Esports taking care of that position, trying to be ready, engaging, and also trying to take good care of the damages that they're getting outside of the zone. Some of the players of Immortals Esports right now are inside of the circle, and they know the sight lines. They got the angle on the right corner. Happens to be Unbothered Esports. Meanwhile, we are seeing the battle between Four Kings and Royal Esports. Good trade happening for these two teams already on the side of Four Kings and Royal Esports. So let's see how this is going to go. Instinct once again from the Four Kings, trying to do some reset, as you can see right here, trying to put some cloud of smoke already, taking good care and having a great rotation. Let's see if that's going to be a great defense coming through, and if they can eliminate once again the Royal Esports.
Man. And again, Royal. I get what people are saying about Royal. You yourself included. That Royal has all that skill backing them up. The mechanicals, the wisdom, right? The entire fruit basket along with them. Okay, oh! Ow! Dang! Okay, Instinct went out just like that. Delta. Okay. Drawing first blood at the expense of our champions from earlier on. Okay, I like this, Super Clark.
Right, and they didn't expect that one. Third party being effective on the side of Delta Esports. They got a complete squad. First blood indeed, true, right? But I don't think we will be seeing once again Four Kings being on top of this match, because they are being eliminated by Team Delta because of the actions earlier. That was really perfectly executed. Third party Royal Esports right now coming back into the same location. Onto the field we go, still trying to do some reset, and the goal is to grab a good weapon so far, and still seeing Unbothered Esports up low, taking his time right here, not moving any muzzle at all, now rotating using that rally car, trying to be closer enough for from his teammates. But Poison Ivy, you got to be ready, because that's going to be a complete squad from Poison Ivy.
Yes, exactly. Complete squad. You know what this means? The possibility again of a victory. Right now, it's the placement points. This counts. This counts. Like five more teams now, and some of them are actually complete. So you know what that means? The other teams are at a deficit. Numbers game. Numbers matter now. Not to mention they have a chopper. They have a helicopter rather. Okay, this is going to be good for them, unless someone... Well, I did see some of them actually donning an FHJ earlier on. Then they can literally surround the map with this, scout for information, just pick off one by one the remaining players in the field. And okay, no movement right there on the side of Royal. Here we go. Sora taking out Aplo though, if I'm reading that correctly.
Yep. And Kev's the only player on the side of Royal Esports. This is going to be a better position that we are seeing right now on the side of Poison Ivy. Delta, I'm only seeing 2 soldiers. And same thing with Unbothered Esports. Oh my God, why you went out from that little house? That's not a good decision. But let's see, can he still be surviving from this location? Because we are seeing a lot of different colors right now. Here we go, Delta on the move, closing out the gap. Is this going to be a chaos once again? Unbothered Cavs being caught off guard by Poison Ivy Dre. That's a perfect throw with a frag. Hartman right now with Cloud of Smoke doing some reset, getting some damages at the same time. Team Delta being a complete squad. That's a powerful push right now that we are seeing from Team Delta, being trapped on the side of Unbothered. Let's see if Poison Ivy will have the advantage. Immortals Esports Asbu rotating, trying to have a space so that he can do some reset. And we are seeing right now 3 different callers on the side and close enough at the edge of the safe zone. Is this going to be Team Delta? Is this going to be Unbothered or Poison Ivy?
It's tough call. And I believe, I don't know, I could be wrong. Was that Kevs from Royale, I feel? He was the last remaining piece of the puzzle. That was him. So that means Royal is out of contention so far. 12 more teams, ladies and gentlemen. And still only 1 elimination from Team Delta. Hartman in trouble here, though.
Can he survive? Can he? Oh my God, he's back on his feet. That's good survival kit being effectively used by Delta. Gab right now, testing the waters. Cluster grenade being thrown from the location of Team Delta. Getting some intel, use damage right off the bat. Let's see. They still have 1 kill point. Oh, that was really a good angle right there. That's a nice kill. Can you imagine, bro?
Beautiful shot right there. Here we go. Couple of dog tags on the side of Unbothered with 5 eliminations. Okay, Treb right here. Apparently just trying to hold his ground. I cannot say the same for Delta though.
Woo!
Okay, we got Hartman, last man standing,
Wow.
still able to fish out Ivo here from Ivy. Now, this is what we were talking about. The numbers game were not protected on the side of Ivy. This is not good. Last 3 teams here, folks. And Unbothered still has 1 functional member in Bert.
Intense. This is going to be intense. Let's see what's going on. Legendary smoke right now being activated. Still Hasbro creating some space. The only plan is when is he going to attack just to get the placement points. Here we go. Delta Hardman and Unbothered on top. Let's see. That's going to be the advantage. Here we go. Are they going to go down? Is that going to be a perfect decision? No, definitely not. You don't need to go down. Just hold on to that position. You have a better chance right now to be crowned as champion for this match. Hasbro still rotating. You got no choice but to stay at the edge of the safe zone.
Yeah, the play zone definitely constricting the players here. Gotta be super careful. Last 3 and 4 players remaining. 1 single encounter could decide our 4th match, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Hartman just taking cover. This is a very good spot. A very, very good spot for Hartman. But not a good position for him to be alone.
Right, here we go. He doesn't have any option. He doesn't have any option. Hardman needs to be inside of the zone. Needs not to show his movement. Oh, being down by Sara.
Unbelievable.
And Brother Esports right now need to grab the W because Hasbro is getting a lot of damages outside of the zone. And here we go. We have the victory. And Brother Esports taking the win.
I called it, ladies and gentlemen. Unbothered Esports, one of these teams that they have right now, gonna get their victory. And it only took 4 matches to do so. Beautiful work. Super Clark, like I said, it is impossible for one of the Unbothered teams not to win here. And as I mentioned, this is a victory for the entire clan itself.
Right. That's a great performances. You called them out earlier. And right now, we are seeing that they are really on top. Great call out. Unbothered Esports getting the victory at the very end. And a great positioning. I kid you not. The last position that they've got was the high ground. The only time that they went down because they know for a fact that there's someone underneath them that they need to finish to get the kill point. Because, you know, if you died outside of the zone, definitely no point from any other opponents, right? So that's why we were still seeing earlier that Unbothered Esports, one of the players trying to somehow find the last or the remaining opponent, but too late though because of the huge damage that the opponent got outside of the zone. But it is what it is. We got a winner team right here. No other than Unbothered Esports. That's your main team.
And again, it was bound to happen. One way or the other, Super Clark. Someone from Unbothered is going to get a big W. And here it is. Not to mention the main team, isn't it? So
right.
This makes absolute sense. Now, I'm still super glad. Not a single repeating team so far, Super Clark. So close though. We were close to Ivy doing it again until the numbers started withering off.
Right. Which is really good. It only means that the teams, even if we know for a fact that there's a lot of teams that we can call and we can say forces to be reckoned with, but still other teams still trying to do their best to have a better strategy to survive and somehow, collect or rack up a lot of kills just to have a better chances of being part of the top 3 teams. And true enough, like you said, no repeated teams from this series.
Not at all. Not at all. No, you only have 2. We only have 2 to go. 2 chances for some of our teams to step their game up. Some of them actually do not have any points yet. So that's really valuable for them to give it a try. And as you did mention a while ago, the play zone is as fatal as anything. It's as fatal as a person. It's as fatal as an SMRS or an FHJ. But it doesn't grant anybody points. So it is one tactical move for some of our players to just gatekeep that potential point and stop them from putting it on their scoreboard. So maybe we're gonna see a bit more of those a little later on, especially those teams who joined for the experience. Let's be frank here. Some
Yeah.
of them might not actually make it anymore within the top 10. So I'm expecting a lot of interference in some of our encounters here, Super Clark.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, but here we go. Let me show you the match
Nice,
rankings.
nice.
This is the round, and Butler Esports getting the debut. Finally, they got a perfect 10 placing points that brings them into the top. Great job. Followed by Royal Esports and Poison Ivy taking good care of their positioning earlier, and a good battle on the side of Four Kings. That was really intense on the last round. And we're talking about this earlier. The key here is to knock down the soldiers of Rigid, because that's their weakness. Once they're being early out, there's no way for them to really, I mean, other teams will have a better chances to have a better placement points. And true enough, same thing with the Four Kings. If you manage to, defeat Four Kings early on that round, higher chances of being part of the top 3 teams.
Wow, it's looking real tight here, looking real close, at least for that match, right? But I cannot say the same here for the overalls, because Rigid, that one performance, make that 2 in this case, Super Clark, those couple of performances is enough to strike fear amongst everybody. The closest to them is 42 points away. Can you believe this, chat? Can you believe all of this that's going on? And from there, it's just like a couple points difference from some of the rest of the teams. I can also put enough pressure on Unbothered Nemesis here. Granted that they haven't scored a single elimination, not a single one. Haven't taken a soul yet.
Right. And just to remind everyone again, Royal Esports, if you remember how good they are from the previous round, just so you know, they're the top fracker. They are rocking 13 kills in total from the previous round. All right. But the thing is, they only got the 5th placer. So that's why we're only seeing some few changes in terms of the leaderboards from the overall rankings, which is still good, right? At the end of the day, you can learn about the things that you did from the previous match, though you know how to get a kill. Right now, moving on to the 5th match, what else that you can offer, right? What planning that you need to do in order for you to get, to be part of the top 3 teams, because you got the most kills for that round. It only means that you are being dominant, right? The thing is, you gotta use somehow your strategies, being clever enough on how to get a placement points.
And that's actually putting it lightly as well, Super Clark, if I'm going to be honest. That is bare minimum.
Yeah.
In this situation. So now, folks, last isolated for the evening. 5th match. It is a do or die for your rectifications, for your Avenger like arc. Honestly, if you need to do something to correct your mistakes from the prior matches of isolated, now is the time. This is the last one. Now, again, I'm gonna put some subconscious pressure on the side of Four Kings. The world is looking, the entire COD community is looking. The faith should not shatter, because yesterday I believe also for the BR duos, Four Kings, no doubt,
right,
like, bar none, untouchable. But here, there's competition. There is competition. Now, folks, again, I know it's getting so intense, it's getting so steamed, so hot. The matches are just insane for us to call. So we're gonna take a quick break. I hope you do too. So please don't go anywhere. Garena Call of Duty Mobile Community Gladiators will be right back.
Good evening, everyone. We are back to Community Gladiators. My name is Super Clark. Here with me, Pika, once again, bringing you the actions of this BR mode squad. So it's going to be already intense for the previous 4 matches. Right now, we're going to move on to the 5th match. Like Pika is mentioning earlier, that this is it. You know, is going to be a death match. Is this going to be your last chance right now to prove that you can be part of the top 3 teams? It's about get a piece of the prize pool that we have.
It's almost evident right now, folks. What's going to happen? We're seeing the top dogs of our charts, of our rankings. And again, on top of everybody, head and shoulders, as I always say, it's head and shoulders above everybody. RGD, Rigid Esports, right there, with an astonishing 84, I believe, or 80, even more than that, I feel. So that right there is a statement that you guys down there, you better make case. You got to reach for us here, right? We are on top of the Eiffel, and you guys are the spectators. So you got to do something.
Yep, you got to do something indeed, especially on the side of Poison Ivy. They need to do 39 total points to steal the ranking on Rigid Esports. And this is once again the overall rankings that we are seeing on top still. Rigid Esports, and Brother Pika is sharing earlier that it is really the tower to beat because of the number of the total points of Rigid and a huge gap on the side of Poison Ivy and 4 Kings. So they just really need to do a lot of points right now. Poison Ivy, 39 total points that they really need to do to be on top. And definitely 4 Kings, same thing, need to do 40 plus points in order for them to steal the trophy from the Rigid Esports.
Mm-hmm. That also kind of worries me, man. 4K. But this is a good sign. A while ago, like I said, there were some ties, there were some differences, but 4K able to at least power through that small ledge that they were standing on earlier. Now, currently at 3rd, as I did mention, these top 3s that we have right now, they are the top dogs. They are the bigger men that these teams have to plow down. Now, back to isolated we go, and this is the last time, Super Clark. I cannot iterate that enough. The last time we are seeing isolated today, period.
Yep, indeed. And we're going to go back to the battlefield in no time. We will be starting the round 5 or the match 5 of this series. We are again on the grand finals of the Community Gladiators 2026 BR mode squad or team mode. So this will be intense right now. We might be seeing a lot of actions once again because we're going to go back to isolated maps. So let's see how this is going to go. We're seeing Rigid Esports getting the win, Poison Ivy, 4 Kings, and Unbothered main team.
Man, Nemesis though, I am going to be very honest, not really pretty. It's not the sight that you'd want to look at here, folks. But then again, like I did say earlier, any win from Unbothered, no matter who it is a victory for the entire clan. Everybody gets a piece of the pie. I hope. I mean, I don't know how they run things in Unbothered, right? But it is a belt nonetheless. So let's leave it at that. So folks, we are not gonna make you wait any longer. This is the final isolated, not just for the night, but also for the entire BR mode, both for the duos and the squads.
Whew, here we go. We are seeing the flight path kind of at the middle side here, right here. So the end would be downtown. So as we all know, 4 Kings is also choosing to drop off to the downtown. But let's see, they're flying closer to Ski Town or Overgrown. Let's see, where are they gonna go, if they're going to choose a map to where they're just being alone or not. As you can see, Ski Town is the target of the 4 Kings, and they're getting closer right now to the team end, so you got to be careful. Our team end is Unbothered Alpha, though they're not able to perform well, but the thing is, they will still have a chance because they're even in terms of weapons, because we just started the first zone of the map.
Yeah, at least that's what it looks like. We're also getting some action from new digits, so that means, Super Clark, an abundance in resources. However, it is going to be a big hike going back. We don't know where the circle's going to... Oh, there it is. I was just talking about it, but the circle lands smacked rightwards here towards Kill House, Crash Site, Launch Base, Bus Station, so on and so forth. Now, folks, once again, 14 teams on board. So there are already what, 3 casualties? Super Clark. Now that's fast. Everybody's picking up the pace.
Right, and GNR, good start, 2 kills right off
Yeah.
the bat. So Fubu right now taking good care of that position. The goal is to grab the dog tags because we are seeing 3 soldiers joining into the match 5 right now. So that's a clear, I could say, a disadvantage already because it's really hard to adjust. You started strong with 4 players. Right now you are at 3. So let's see how are they going to change their strategies, their planning, knowing that they need to play with 3 players. Speaking of players, 4 Kings right now still having a complete squad. So let's see how are they going to perform right now. But we're still seeing this teams of Royal Esports having a complete squad about to fight the SDPH.
Hopefully so. We do get that encounter. Remember a while ago, this is actually how some of the teams fate each other, right? GNR was actually the same team who was also there. You know what? We're right. This is deja vu. This is a history repeating itself. Okay.
Right.
But now this is sad. I believe Skara is the one that's missing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We saw him earlier.
Yeah, and unfortunately, yeah, no one to carry the burden anymore. Unfortunately, but again, as you mentioned, it's vital. Losing one member who is of a different class is important because that player might actually be the turning point of a single encounter. Okay, here we go. Aplo from Royal taking out Daryl from GNR. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Super Clark. Now they're down to 2 functional players.
Right. And a good trade happening as well because Royal, we are seeing some actions fighting against SDPH. And Fubo right now on the side of GNR finding a better vantage point. That's the best thing that they can do right now. They need to play strategically because, 3 players. It's going to be hard for them to really strategize, and that's the best thing that they can do right now, not being aggressive at all. Royal Esports rotating with the Antelope. Let's see, finding some intel right now. No information avail, and let's see, still trying to rotate and scouting. And ATMT on the other hand onto the hill, and they got the advantage that in no time, if they have some cash, they can upgrade their classes because they're close to the buying station.
I hope so. That is where the moolah really comes in handy. This is where the gathering those resources. I'm not just talking about weapons, right? We're talking about the cash as well. We're talking about those piles of paper. They might be very important moving forward. Here we go, 4K. Once again, I hate reminding the players this, but if you look at the upper right side of your screen, 4K, they are not on top. And they're only literally 2 points difference from 2nd and 4th place. So anything can happen. That's the only thing we're saying here.
Yep, anything can happen as we are seeing Live Main team got a knockdown already. Oh, good trade happening from the Leap side and Rigid Esports this time. Well, we know for a fact Rigid Esports, they're just going to start slow. They're just going to gather a lot of resources, upgrading their classes as you guys are seeing right now, evidently. And then after that, they're going to focus on getting their own loadouts. And after getting their own loadouts, as you are seeing right now, it's all already available. That's the time to where they're going to find some wings or chopper that they can definitely use to scout or any vehicles. That moment is the time for them to attack because they're freaking confident. So you know already how they play. Meanwhile, seeing 4 Kings attacking Team N right here, adjusting the position. Unbothered Esports, that's your Team Alpha out there who are not really performing well. Rewind for the counter coming along from this fight, but one player being knocked down onto the ground. Fight is definitely trying to do his best to help out the team alone. 3v2 from this perspective. So let's see how this gonna go. Is this gonna be the sign right now for Team Alpha to get a kill point and get a win for the 4 Kings?
Man, I'm bothered again. Look at this. Alpha falling like flies here, unfortunately. But again, this is still very early on. We're gonna see how this unfolds moving forward. SDPH, you get a notification there. This is not their match. This is not their game here. I'll say that right now.
And they're all aggressive. Can you imagine? They keep on pushing 4 Kings. Okay, all right. I love the confidence, but let's see. How long can they survive right now? Cluster grenade being thrown already. Cracked down that vest. Friday is also out there with the use of that Snowbee. Instinct is doing the same gameplay, adjusting the position and really trying to check out the 6 to make sure that there will be any other flanking. But Friday being caught by Ren, can you imagine?
Okay, not good for 4K right there. That's 1 for 1. You won't like those odds. Now, here we go. Rigid with the helicopter, just staying out of harm's way, kind of. One SMRS/FHJ will do the trick. And no one's going to the platform, huh? I have not seen any platform action thus far, Supercard.
Right. Oh, that's really the gameplay that I'm talking about for the Rigid Esports. They're just using all of the vehicles, the chopper hitting first the opponent, and they're just gonna, jump off whatever vehicle that they're using and then finish the battle. That's it. That's the one that we saw from the Rigid Esports. I don't know now if we still see any remaining players from the 4 Kings. Maybe there is, maybe they're being eliminated by Rigid, but I'm still only seeing 2 kill points, and Eduardo still being alive from the 4 Kings Joker. That's really a good sign.
And basically from Unbothered over here. All right, here we go. We still have a full stack here from the Alpha. Yeah, is it Alpha? It is Alpha. It is Unbothered Alpha. Okay, but nope, never mind. That is all she wrote. And again, more Unbothered casualties here.
Right. And do you see how they scout using the vehicles, brother?
Yeah.
And how they ambush easily their opponents? Because, you're going to think, because whenever I play this game and then I heard a chopper, I'm thinking that there will be a squad. But the one that we are seeing from Rigid Esports right now, 1 player only being a pilot. And then after getting the location, he's going to push, and there's a support coming through from the rest of the team of Rigid Esports. And is being effective. Right now, they are getting 4 kills in total.
Let's see how long the plan can actually stay, before it expires. It might be figured out, and that might be solved. Honestly, some of these teams are gonna find a way to counterplay that thing. Okay, Unbothered here. We have Alpha, two frags, but again, I don't think that's worth the risk, worth the liability moving forward. Now, IE, okay. I'm trying to see if this is gonna be a good dip. This is gonna be good involvement here.
And the players of Immortals Esports right now, they got a good vantage point and showing some trigger discipline. Although he got the SMRS here, but also being found by the Royal Esports. Right now, they're trying to target Hasbul on top of this crane. So let's see. But Glue, you got to be careful right now. Clyde Glue is about to stick himself in the middle of the players of Royal Esports. Oh my God, he's onto the ground. I don't know what just happened right there, but that's not a good decision. And Kira is also helping out the team around with a 2v1 situation. Good trade happened. Knocked down right away. The only player alive is Hasbul. What a great combination of the SMRS.
And again, if my vision did not fool me, I think we saw airbornes deployed there as well. So that probably was the catalyst. Again, I could be wrong here, but moving forward, Royale still complete, still looking good. Again, this is the formula here, Super Clark. A bunch of eliminations, right? They get a bunch of eliminations so early on, and then the big question mark later is how long can they stay within the match? How long can they be in this round just to gather those placement points? I'm not very sure if I'm gonna 100% lean on how Royale is doing, because we've seen this happen time and time again. They're gonna get those points, those eliminations, and then never again.
Right. I couldn't agree more. So let's see how this is gonna go, because Royal Esports right now still surviving. A little aggressive gameplay, and it's really being effective, but they just really need to sustain it. How long can they survive? That's the one that you were trying to say earlier. How long can they be part of the top 3 teams? Who knows, right? Because right off the bat, they're rocking up 7 kills in total. Same thing with the Leaf main team, as you guys are seeing right now on the camera, and they got the hill. So let's see if they still got the energy that they really need to use in fighting the remaining soldiers,
or the basically the tactical finesse that they have in order to move further on into this round, into this match particularly. Here we go, Rigid again. putting more on the with
Wow.
9 eliminations. Okay, and regardless whether they still have whether Stellar, if I'm reading that correctly, if Stellar was eliminated or not, 9 eliminations is no joke. And I thought I was already praising Royal, but Rigid right here with 9. Okay, that says a lot. ADMT Hajime Dao. This right here is what was going on with GNR earlier. One person remaining tasked to pick up the dog tags, man. Always a curse. Always a difficult task, but it has to happen. Otherwise, or the rest of the rest of the trooper is gonna have to carry on the heavy weight.
Right, and that's gonna be hard on the side of Hajime. The only player right now, they are being eliminated by the Rigid Esports. ZNR Darrow is onto the ground once again because lead main team knocking him off. So, oh my God, what is going on? Because again, GNR earlier, they got only 3 soldiers. Right now, they're facing 2 top teams that we have in their community, 4 Kings and lead main team.
Enemy down.
Now the circle not looking very comfortable here for both teams. We're grazing a little bit of Sakura here, if you noticed. There's going to be a small body of water there in between, right?
Oh.
So I'm not very sure if we're going to have that kind of clash earlier, a little later rather. GNR, again, falling victim. As I did mention, that basically those 3 soldiers that we have there, missing one, it's going to be a problem. It is definitely going to be a problem.
Right. But let's see now if this is going to be a problem for Club TC because Eduardo has a better position and a trigger discipline being shown by Eduardo right now. Not making a lot of noises. Let's see. But I think Club TC has an idea that someone is on top. Let's see how this is going to go. Here we go. And not really engaging at all. He has an idea, definitely. And allowing Eduardo right now to still stay on that position. We're seeing Unbothered Esports on the far left end. Oh my God.
He has to
TZ
go.
Dropping off. Eduardo doesn't have any option. Club TZ out there patiently waiting. That's the plan. Can you imagine? We're saying that he doesn't have an idea. But it's just only a plan, brother. Just to eliminate the players of 4 Kings.
I feel that it was just information relayed by Lee.
Yep.
Right now they have 11 eliminations. And we're at top 8 territory here, so the points are going to be very vital. Super crucial here. Look at Rigid. They have 10 again. And I believe Royal also was not very far behind. So we're going to check on them a little bit later in the final rankings. Now, I feel for Eduardo after that.
Yeah.
I feel for Eduardo after that encounter. He did his best to try and peel out as fast as possible, but no, the information has already been relayed. The encounter was just too quick. So that is a salute right there.
Yep. True. And Poison Ivy right here, Rigid Esports Seller using that antelope just to gather some information. So let's see if they're going to push or not. Lit is also right here. You got to be careful though. Not moving any muscle at all. Not really showing his footprints from the HUDs of the players of Unbothered. I kid you not, he's not really moving. And Dre is also inside of the safe zone. He can definitely do an easy kill because he can definitely do some gatekeep gameplay right now. But Showman is also freaking good. Rain knocking down Dre on the side of Poison Ivy, and Rigid still finding some intel, scouting once again using that antelope. They might be doing some third party.
By the looks of it, yeah, honestly. Okay, I'm thinking out loud here. If Unbothered Alpha here chooses to stay within the zone, well, now they're not, right? Chooses to be at least close to it. They're gonna have a lot of these dominant teams coming their way, right? So far, they are the weakest link in this entire predicament. Look at Leap, 14 eliminations, right? Well, 4 Kings a while ago. They not really a lot to rack up, or at least that's not significant this far into the tournament. So there are others. Rigid has, I believe, 11. Oh, 10, right? Pardon me. There's 10. And again, Unbothered Alpha, they are the underdogs. So should they choose to linger around these dangerous territories, they are the prey.
Oh, okay. Good point. From Pika. Let's see.
Look at where Hello is. I'm sorry to cut. Look at where Hello is. They're far. They're not pushing. They're not going after Leap. Not yet, at least.
Yeah. And maybe that's going to be the plan because they're finding some better opportunity. They know already the location of Leap. And right now, Z trying to, somehow be the person to gather some information. And in front of them, oh my God, you got to be ready from Rigid Esports. They got the hill and Leap right
Yeah.
now at the back of the Rigid Esports. You got to watch your back. And hello, team. Not saying any hello yet, but yeah. Oh, that's the one that I'm talking about. Stellar
See?
being caught off guard by Leave at the back. That's really a good flank gameplay on the side of Leave team.
That is the point I was making. Unbothered Alpha, they are gonna be supposedly they are gonna be I'd say the ones who should be hiding, right? They are the prey. However, we did see a trade via SMRS there, so Unbothered is still pecking. You know, they are still biting back. Okay, and now I want to see how this is gonna go. Leap has to go for this certain rotation because Unbothered surely has information. Now they do.
And they got the advantage in terms
They do.
of the
They
high
do.
ground. Looking at it, that's really a good position on the side of Leap Main team. Here we go, penetrating. Oh, the retro. Oh, you gotta get
out
out.
of there.
You gotta get out. Here we go, repairing the armor. You gotta be quicker. That's a good rotation being made. How long can he survive from the 2v1 situation?
that's
Just
it.
because of that,
That's it.
Nat is onto the ground. That's a good catch out there from the Rigid Esports. Once again, going on to the roof, finding
Uh-oh.
some good information. The location being revealed already. And on your left corner, you gotta check as well the Royal Esports. Here we go. Is this gonna be Rigid once again? Is this gonna be Royal Esports? Is this gonna be the Lib main team?
I told you, man. These other teams, they are inferior so far when it comes to the points. Royal there with 9, looking good. But Unbothered Alpha, okay, I like this. I don't know if it's me jinxing them, but Unbothered Alpha is putting more names on their board. Okay, look at that. Showman taking out a secret from RGD. Oh, okay. I must have pulled something there. I must have pressed a button.
Oh, that's gonna be hard right now for Rigid Esports. Although they got 12 kills in total, there's no way for them to survive. But who knows? He might be doing some clutch. Lay is also one of the best players of Rigid Esports. And Bothered Alpha right now got a better position. Here we go. Cyan trying
they're
to get a
dipping
kill
in.
point. Great job out there. JM is onto the ground.
There you go. Hello is finally in there. Hello has finally decided to join the party. 4 teams remaining with 10 players still active, still going. Now Leap, 18 eliminations,
Wow.
my guy.
Zone is collapsing.
18 eliminations. Now this is gonna reflect real well on the overalls a little later.
Agreed. Absolutely. Right now, Club TC finding a better position, using that legendary smoke right now just to do some reset. Let's see if he will have the advantage. Classic grenade being thrown right now. Rain being caught off guard. Here we go. Club TC trying to rotate. Lay still trying to survive. The only player on the side of Rigid Esports about to do some third party. Let's see how clever he is. Mad class being activated. So outside of the zone, that's going to be a huge damage that he is definitely getting right now while the other teams are fighting to each other inside of the circle. How are this going to end? Close quarter battle. Oh, Kev's knocking down. That's insane. And Leave Club TZ as well. In Aspect is trying to target Lay right now on the side of Rigid Esports. Oh, Club TC knocking down Showman. Lay is the next target, cracking out that vest. Club TC is just there to help. Oh, and Live main team for the win.
And again, folks, no repeats thus far. Sensational performance right there from Leap. I gotta love it. Now, folks, that was a little too close to call. All these teams, they earned their spot being in these final encounters, right? Especially the last 5 teams, Super Clark. We gotta hand them the credit they deserve.
Right. And what I'm seeing with Lay is like, she's just being clever, trying to survive longer, getting the placement points, right? He was the last guy from the Rigid and getting the second placer at the same time. Can you imagine? That's how good they are. Leap main team getting a lot of kills. I think they managed to end 20 plus points, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember it correctly. But the Leap main team getting 23 elimination and put them onto the spot by getting the W at the very end. So I'm so excited what's going to happen right now on our overall rankings.
It's definitely gonna get shook. And you know what this means? They have trumped 4 kings. They have finally cemented a sizable lead between them and Four Kings. Now this is gonna be tough. A little later on the side of Four Kings, it's your move now, Four Kings. So moving forward, let's check out some little bit of the action over here. I was rooting for the possibility of Hello to do a bit of a surprise there, especially during the last encounters, because they were patient enough to not pull the trigger when they didn't need to. They just stuck around by the safe zone, lingering, lurking, as we would say, up until it was really necessary. And they did get a few significant points.
Right. Which is really a good plan in hearing from Mission Control. Was that again? Hello, goodbye. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So let's see what's gonna happen right now as we are showing you the highlights once again. At first, we shown you the Rigid Esports, a great ambush, a great planning of hitting their opponents with whatever vehicles that they're using or chopper. And that's a 2v1 situation on the side of lead main team. Lay won't be able to survive. And here we go, Brother Pika. Match rankings.
33 solid points. My dad's favorite number. Rigid with 19 and Bothered Alpha with 17. So again, this is what we were talking about. 4K with literally 1 point for this match alone. This only goes to show that they're probably going to end at 47 points if my math is actually correct. 47 points. Whereas the other teams, especially Unbothered Alpha, I did say that earlier.
Yeah.
Unbothered Alpha was going to be the underdogs here, so they have to pick themselves up. And that's exactly what they did.
Right.
Compared to the rest of the rankings, they were actually a bit inferior. But in this match, beautiful job. Beautiful job. Now, this is where it matters. This is it, folks. Let's see if the math is mathing. 105 already. Undisputed, Super Clark. Undisputed right now, the top dogs. Rigid. They can sit this one out.
Indeed. That's a top to beat, and Rigid Esports clearly ahead right now from any other teams that we have on the list. This is once again the overall rankings, and as you can see, lead main team, if they want to defeat and steal the trophy of Rigid TSG, they need to do 31 plus points in order for them to steal that debut from the Rigid Esports. Good standing though, because they are really planning carefully on when to attack and when to create some diversion, which is really being effective, gathering some intel, trying to have a better position, assuming and expecting that their opponents will be a rewind. So that's why they have a better angle that whenever their opponents do some rewind, someone will be attacking and catching that opponent to knock him down. And it was freaking effective. On the side of Poison Ivy, they need to do more 20 plus points that they really need to have in order for them to be crowned as second placer maybe, or who knows, they might be on top still. But looking at the roadmap, brother, we have Poison Ivy, we have Four Kings, we have Rigid, we have Unbothered right now, we have lead main team. There's no back-to-back happening right now from today's matches.
Absolutely no one. I enjoy this. Okay, now we're gonna be preparing for the next match, right? So now I feel that maybe, just maybe, I'm trying to be positive here. I'm trying to be like an optimist of sorts. Maybe this is okay. Let me throw a bone here. I'm gonna take a wild swing in the dark. What if another Unbothered team gets this?
Interesting.
A different Unbothered team.
Okay, all right. Oh, that's no other than Alpha or main team, right?
Maybe.
Right, or Unbothered Nemesis. But looking at the rankings or the overall rankings, they're not really doing well. But the thing is, who knows on the match 6, right? Because the tendency. All right, this is only my opinion. The tendency for the last round, knowing that, I got the win already, so it's like they're going to slack off, right? And that's a chance of the other teams that be able to perform and be crazy enough to take that advantage to rack up a lot of kills, so that it's somehow not going to be a bad thing to see in terms of their performances. Who knows?
An open mind, guys, and more importantly, just an open heart, because we are down to our last match of the entire tournament, guys. Not just for the BR, but for the entirety of Community Gladiators Season 1. Here we go. Final Blackout. Once again, I told you, there is a bias on the flight path. We are headed right back to Hydro Dam for the third time today. This is it. This is definitely Blackout. And again, look who's going back to Nooktown.
Nooktown. All right. So same map. I kid you not. It's like their plan is to master any map, so that for this kind of scenario, they can definitely use that experience and mastery of the map as one of their advantages, right? And definitely 4Kings will be choosing to drop off on Hydro Dam. And construction site, that's no other than your ADMT being alone out there. So that's their advantage, to get a lot of resources from the building of the construction site. So let's see how this is going to go. It might be somehow a passive gameplay. We might be waiting for 1 minute or 2 minutes before we see any engagement. But on the Rivertown, come on, man. Rivertown, we're seeing Team J, the Poison Ivy, and closer to our crown champion from the previous match. That's no other than Leap Main Team.
Now again, okay, no contact just yet. I can already feel some honestly, some brave and maybe illogical interferences here from some of our teams. They actually just might jump into this to disrupt everything. And again, don't look now. We are out 2 teams. 2 of them did not deploy here, so there's a big chance. And again, I'm just thinking right out loud here and assuming that it's probably Unbothered Nemesis who have had their share of experience in Community Gladiators.
Yep, they throw the towel already. It is what it is. It's all right though. You got some experience, but yeah. Right now, maybe the players will be watching the remaining battle right here on our live, so that they can learn more and apply those kind of styles or maybe strategies that they can adapt from different teams, and make it as their own. That's the key in learning. Now, checking the construction site. Once again, ADMT, there will be no action right there. It's a huge map. It's a huge building, and that's why we don't see anyone. And Poison Ivy Team Atlas, again, I mentioned earlier, they're close to the Leap Main Team, but still the goal is to gather a lot of resources, getting some juices from the Rivertown, and 4Kings definitely from the Hydro Dam, and Royale Esports still out here, right here, close to 4Kings, and upgrading their classes already. They are more than ready to attack. Right now, they need to get more cash in order for them to buy their own loadouts. The arsenal need to be ready, and then after that, rotate, scout, and be aggressive in getting a kill points.
Now, funny enough, I don't think that there really is a need right now. I'll be honest. I don't think there really is 100% need to go for them loadouts, right? But sure, it is a feature that we cannot shy away from. I feel that the travel going to the arsenal is always so treacherous because there's a big chance that there are already teams in there with no information. You won't know. At the expense of revealing position as well as whatever you're having, the arsenal is a make or break, in my opinion. But again, that's just me voicing out a single bit of opinion here. Just my 2 cents. Here we go. So I'm wrong in the sense that we haven't had a single elimination for over a couple of minutes now, Super Clark. So maybe some of our teams, they know better. They wanna lock in, especially the top 3. We're talking about Rigid, Leap, and Poison Ivy. Let's not forget. I'm gonna point this one I'd say so vigilantly that 4Kings, they need to outplay Poison Ivy here.
100%. I couldn't agree more. That's the key here. Maybe the reason why we're seeing Eduardo not attacking Royale Esports earlier when they're passing by using their using their vehicle. So that's why. It shows trigger discipline and a great planning right now. And Darrow attacking from the killer feed. I don't know if that's a better decision with a close water batter right now. And Casio doesn't have any time to survive.
Oh man, okay. SDPH is actually not at a bad spot, I'm not gonna lie. With a total of 13 points, regardless of whether those from frags and honestly, from gathered eliminations, then I feel that they did what they had to do in this entire tournament, right? SDPH, they were threats in their own right. There we go, Delta, another casualty. So, and again, SDPH, they're taking out the likes of Delta, who are about what three notches ahead of them. It just goes to show that they're also up for the task. They're ready for this job.
Right. And that's one that we are seeing in terms of their performances. Sato, meanwhile, attacking Kira. Knocked down right away. And here we go. What is going on, Aris? he's he's like being paranoid, attacking his teammate. Can you imagine? Here we go. Sato right now about to destroy that chopper. Open area battlefield, which is, I could say, one of the risky to be in terms of location, but we are seeing how great the players of Lead main team. So they're ready and they're being aware from the surroundings.
Yeah, I was literally gonna say heads up. We have a chopper ahead, or up above rather. So you got to take that out. Honestly, we saw what they were able to do. I believe that was Royal, or please correct, or Rigid. I think it was either Royal or Rigid who was using the chopper a while ago to such a good degree that they managed to rack up some eliminations and stay untouched. So that's the explanation. Honestly, that is the motive. That is the entire reason for that helicopter's existence. Now here we go. The play zone already shrinking as early as now, and with no confirmed teams eliminated just yet. Superclub.
Right, and Immortals Esports about to face the Poison Ivy right here. Good formation so far. High ground, but a 2v1 situation. I'm not really sure if that was really a great idea with the rewind counter. Cluster grenade being thrown already, doing some reset. And here we go, another lit. Got a better position. Great defense and staying inside of that litter house. And just like that, Poison Ivy being eliminated. And Lit is the only player, but you got to be careful. That's a 3 opponents coming at ya. Oh, finally, still trying to survive right now. Still getting some damages outside of the zone. And he needs to do a lot of work because we're still seeing 2 players. But ADMT, can you imagine doing some third party? And they know already that someone is inside. And just like that, Lid is definitely taking good care of this position, being careless, even if he knows that he will be pushed.
No.
And Lid, that's the time to where we're seeing an end game on the side of Poison Ivy.
This is a chance for 4 Kings. This is a chance for 4 Kings. I jinxed it. I jinxed it hard, bro. 4 Kings now. Oh, okay. I'm jinxing 4 Kings as well. I'm so sorry about that. I'm gonna be quiet here.
Yeah.
Because, again, I did say that. The only way for 4 Kings to secure that 3rd place spot is if they outplay Poison Ivy. Now somebody else already tenderized the meat. It is up to 4 Kings now to go for the cook. Now the circle is gearing towards Houseboat here, and with the drop headed that direction as well, Super Clark. So it means that there's going to be an abundance of resources and equipment here. Let's see who's going to be brave enough to jump in. Now I'm going to talk about how it was, like in my perspective a little earlier. Ivy, Poison Ivy. I believe that that's a bit of pressure on their side, that they had to retain the 50 points or go beyond that up until 4 Kings get eliminated. But it didn't happen now, did it?
Too unfortunate. Yeah. They lost the battle early. So we know for a fact that the overall rankings on the side of Poison Ivy will change because of the early elimination. Too unfortunate for them. But seeing right now, another team going back to the battlefield. Rigid Esports still trying to find a good number of kills on the side of okay, fine, so what? But we are only seeing one target. Tom G's, is that, if I'm reading it right, the only player, the only target of the Rigid Esports?
Yeah, that is the case. Now they're stalking their prey, surrounding the vicinity. Not really very good. I know he's swallowing hard right now. Oh, they know I'm here. I gotta be careful. Not a lot of weaponry to work with here as well. The smoke bomber class, I don't think this is gonna come really handy. Not even upgraded yet.
That is definitely true. Stellar right now, still finding Tom G's and creating some diversion, and that's the key. Meanwhile, from the killer feed, Hajime knocking down one of the players of Immortals Esports. Let's see how this is going to go, because ADMT still staying outside of the zone. That's really going to be too far from them, as you can see right there. But let's see how are they going to plan things out on how to survive. Meanwhile, we're still seeing them finding some good loot, finding some good juices.
Okay. ADMT, though, just playing it slow and steady. You know, I had such faith in ADMT. They've been showing up where it really mattered. But again, that's a story for later. Here we go. Daryl from GNR taken out by JM of Leap. Again, Leap, you know, I'm so happy as well that they managed to bag the final isolated earlier, Super Clark.
Right, true. And GNR still trying to be patient, as you can see. They know for a fact that they're weak in terms of number of soldiers, so they need to be clever enough. What just happened? A huge explosion. Immortals Esports being eliminated by ADMT.
10 more teams and 2 more eliminated teams away from the points that really matter. So I'm expecting a bit more high octane action, you know, moving on a little later. Here you go. ADMT, like I said, they're not slouches, but they haven't won the necessary medals, you know, to get those, to get a little bit of part of the moolah, of the cash money, so to speak. But again, let's wait for what's gonna unfold a little later on. Who knows? They might actually be the winner for later. I'm just hoping, honestly.
And you mentioned earlier, Unbothered Alpha knocking
Yes.
down one of the players.
Yes.
Leap, can you imagine? And right now, there's a good trade happening though. Showman not being able to showcase how good he is, but it is what it is right now. Leap fighting against Unbothered Alpha. Here we go. Sato knocking down a soldier. A quick elimination. What just happened? Powerful attack from the Leap painting.
And with 8 eliminations, man, that again, I cannot stress that enough. 8 eliminations, they're headed there. They are headed to the summit. Like, they need 2 more frags, and that's gonna look good already. Leap right now has 75 points. So if we're gonna keep doing the math here and pretend that they managed to cap it out at 10 eliminations, which is impossible, by the way. If they're gonna win this whole thing, they're gonna have to get more eliminations than that, right? If they get at least 30, they're gonna be able to chase Rigid. They can chase Rigid.
And speaking of Rigid Esports right now.
they're not letting this happen 100%.
Right. Right off the bat, that's the only time that we are seeing Rigid Esports attacking. And they got 4 eliminations. And taking the advantage of the supply boxes already, Mech-less being activated. That's the best thing that they can do for now because they're still staying outside of the zone. ADMT, meanwhile, and about to engage with the 4 Kings. Here we go. That's going to be the chance of the 4 Kings right now. They need to win this battle against ADMT so that they will secure the spot, being on the 3rd or maybe being on the 2nd placer of this BR squad mode. Here we go. ADMT closing out the gap. That's going to be from Trevor. Let's see if that's going to be a perfect decision. Akasa is the next target. Friday doing some reset. Arsenal being given already from these players. And just like that, that's a 2v1 situation. Friday not able to survive. Akasa is the only player changing the target, destroying the chopper. Can you imagine from Hajime?
Okay, that was huge, man. That was huge for ADMT. Now let me say this again. I mentioned this earlier. Trying to save up and trying to add on via Arsenal is a risk on its own. So, but again, it is what it is, Super Clark. It's definitely gonna come as part of the job, right? Here we go. 4 Kings. They actually have 2 casualties so far and 2 active members. So remember, all they need to do is surpass 50. Is to surpass 50, and they can take this entire thing, or at least they can take a piece of that prize. It's still not a joke, man. They'd still walk away with 300.
Yeah, why not, right? So let's see if Akasa, it's a good patient, all right, being shown by Akasa. He managed to scan the dog tags, and it's the time for them right now to do some regroup and about to get closer to Instinct just to make sure that he's definitely being safe in terms of location. There's a good teamwork being shown already by the 4 Kings going up to the hill. And we don't see any engagement, but they need to be careful still. We're seeing SDPH once again at the edge of the safe zone. They might be somehow do some gatekeep. Yan is the only target that they have from their right corner. And as you can see, they're sharing some weapons already because it only means that the Casa doesn't have a good weapons earlier. So Right now, Yan Yan in front of them and GNR having some battle. Okay, fine. So what as well, having a good angle that they can definitely use, but there's a lot of players that they can attack this time. Okay, fine. So what? Tom G's use damage on the side of SDPH. Can he be committed to
Oh.
confirm that kill?
Look at the circle, ladies and gentlemen. The possibility again of water encounters here is upon us. The jungle is full of hunters right now, and it looks like okay. They're actually looking for this fight. They are looking for these hunters right here, out in search of blood, I would say. But again, right here at a very costly price. My goodness. So here we go. The circle, real painful right now. Super Clark. Royal has to make their way in. Yep, this is a bit of a backfire compared to the previous Royal, or at least a reverse. A little bit of a jinx. Now with only one elimination.
Right. And still trying to survive outside of the zone right now. Kira, still, he knows for a fact that he can be out of the zone, but he's definitely close right now. But the thing is, they need to do more. We're about to end this last match, unbothered in front of them, not being bothered from the attack of Royal Esports. And we are seeing some great combination of the weapons as well. SDPH Yan Yan still being alive. Four Kings as well still being alive right now. So there's a huge chance for Four Kings to be on the top 3 teams at the end of this series. Meanwhile, Rigid Esports, oh my god, here we go. Who will grab that win? Is that going to be Rigid Esports? Is that going to be the Annihilation? Akasa getting some damages knocked down right away. That's insane. Instinct in Akasa being caught off guard from from the Rigid Esports. Can you imagine? That was really quick, bro.
Real fast. Royal, however, not really far behind with three active players still, but with only one elimination, they're gonna have to work a little harder than that. 4K though, and Clyde from Royal also falling victim to Stellar over there. Okay, it is R versus R over here. I am waiting to see who's gonna emerge on top. And I did say we are gonna have water encounters, and this is the stress levels rising. You know, this is the problem. It's no man's land down there. And again, I did mention SDPH. They've been around the entire day, or they've been around the entire league, at least for the squad. Still instilling some damage, still putting in the hurt for some of the teams, even if they haven't gotten a piece of the limelight just yet.
Right. And we're seeing Rigid Esports having a complete squad. Can you imagine? I thought they're going to slack off because they know already that, they will be the champion. But the thing is, they're really making sure that no one will be close enough in terms of the scores. That's really a different... It's kind of like, sending a message that, hey, we are solidifying our ranking in playing Community Gladiators 2026. We want to make sure that we deserve the spot being crowned as champion. And true enough, until this moment, they have a complete squad, and Royal Kira is the only player from the Royal Esports with 1 kill as a team.
My goodness. And of course, I believe that OK is also out of there. GG's well played. Now, unbothered, right? Unbothered,
Wow.
still trying their best. I did tell you this. This is my prediction. Unbothered is still in this. We are now down to the last man standing from Royal. However, never mind. Here we go. I jinxed it 100%. But Rigid, possibly. You know what? Rigid is gonna win this entire thing. Look at this, stalking their prey, circling around the victim, ladies and gentlemen, without a doubt, and keeping their top spot unscathed. Rigid Esports, congratulations.
It was really an evident of phenomenal performances to Rigid Esports being crowned as champion, solidifying their rankings at the last gameplay, being complete as a squad, and being still able to perform well with a lot of kills. Truly a deserving victory to Rigid Esports.
Flawless, I would say. Flawless, untouched, right? Not a chip of damage on their side leading to that finale. So beautiful work here from Rigid, and the only repeater today. So this is wonderful. This is wonderful. Fantastic job from the boys of Rigid. Now, again, I put my hands together not just for our champions. It is safe to say here, Super Clark, that Rigid, again, standing tall above everybody else, they are walking away with that coveted prize. Okay, so yeah, correct me actually. I said 300. No, sir. 600 for the podium the third podium finish, respectively 900 and the 1600 for Rigid.
There we go. That's a lot of money on the side of our champion, Rigid TSG. Congratulations once again. That's the series, but we are so excited to see
Yes,
the result of the match rankings and then overall rankings to see and know who will be on the second placer and the third placer of this series.
Again, that's just us doing common math. Now we're just gonna wait up until mission control flashes the displays on screen, and we're super excited. I'm super excited. And I'm clapping internally for everybody who joined, regardless whether there were points or not, because that is such an experience to start off the year. Now here we go, Rigid with 27 points. My goodness, 17 eliminations, ADMT and Leap, not trailing far behind, and unfortunately a tie between them and Unbothered.
Clearly dominant. Looking at the number of kills from Rigid, they are the top fragger. Only team that has a 2-digit kills that brings them to the top. That's the match rankings right there. So it only means after a few seconds or a minute, we'll be showing you the overall rankings to know who grab the champion, the second placer, and the third placer. $1,600, $900, and the $300.
Man, I wanna check that out. And again, please do correct me if I'm wrong. Mission control, it is not. Is it not 1,600, 900, and 600? But again, it's we're gonna wait for that a little later on. Regardless of the monetary rewards, right here, the podium finish is what we're waiting for. Want to see that top three? I am gonna think out of the simplest logic here, Super Clark. I do believe that 4 Kings secured the third place spot. That's just us spicing things up a little bit here, folks. Don't hate us.
Okay.
We're waiting.
Or maybe Royal Esports.
Here we go. We didn't even get any rewards, but yes, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Rigid.
Our champion already.
Yes.
There we go.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And announcing the champion. Congratulations. The Rigid TSG getting a huge chunk of the prize pool for the BR squad mode. Congratulations. As we go right now, the overall rankings, Brother Pika.
132 total points. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot imagine the effort that they had to go through just to score that 132. Leap, as I mentioned, is definitely up there with 83. And again, that this is a heartbreaker, Super Clark. Such a heartbreaker. 4 Kings, 1 point shy of third place.
Oh my God! Loses
that
the chances.
Hurts.
Yeah, that really hurts. Can you imagine 1 point difference only? And again, hats up to Royal Levendis being part of the top 3 teams. Great effort, great performances, finishing the job. All right. On this tournament. Great battle for Royal Levendis.
Super Clark, I'm telling you. The victory yell right now within the Rigid headquarters must be resounding, because that right there is hard work from start to finish. I really cannot say anything at all about Rigid. It's just that they emerged victorious due to the grit, the persistence to come out on top. Again,
and just
you
being
see
rigid.
that gap, right? Exactly. Dude, the only 3-digiter amongst the entire tournament here in the squad is all because they refuse to play the game sitting down. I don't mean that literally, but what I mean by that is they're sweating bullets even. And there it is.
And that's our champion, Rigid TSG. And Poison Ivy, though, brother. Poison
Yes.
Ivy, they started strong, right? They got the very first win. The thing is, they're not able to be consistent in terms of their performances. Although we are seeing on round 2, Poison Ivy, they are being eliminated early to where it was really a huge impact in terms of their rankings because they only got one elimination and being out early of the game. And moving on to the round 3, Poison Ivy only got 4 eliminations. So that's the reason we're seeing the rankings of Poison Ivy being, continuously dropping from the overall rankings. And I don't know what's happening from them. Maybe they're being unlucky in terms of position. But after the round 5 of Poison Ivy, still. So it's like they started strong and then I don't know what to do next. Because on the round 5, they only got 1 kill. They only got 1 kill, bro. And the last match for the Poison Ivy, 3. Less than they're being consistent, having a less than 5 kill points. So it's like they wasted their chances of being part of the top 3 teams.
But what is not wasted here, ladies and gentlemen, would be the experience for every single team here. So thank you very much for tuning in and sticking with us through and through for the entirety of Garena Call of Duty Mobile's Community Gladiators. First and foremost, we'd like to thank everybody who watched. You guys have been amazing from all the platforms that we streamed our tournaments on, from the multiplayers to the duo, to the battle royales, pardon me, and as well to the staff, everybody in production who made all this possible. Super Clark, thank you very much. Great to have me, and of course, lest we forget, Call of Duty Mobile. Thank you, Garena. Thank you for always giving us the opportunity to conduct and call the action for tournaments like this. Without further ado, we appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. It has been an honor once again. We'll see you on the next Pika here in Super Clark. Good night. Sleep tight. See you.